What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy, live and direct, in absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how we do, man. I'm alive and direct with my boy out the 662. Y'all already know how he do, man. And if you don't, y'all bitches better get a clue. What's popping and what's dropping, brother Craig?
Man, not much, man. Off today from a job after having a very long, productive week. It was an interesting week, if you will. Shit, got stung by a wasp, and then ended the week off with a little dog bite. But I'm all right though from both. But shit, we got a nicely loaded topical show today. And yeah, and also without further ado, let me give a big birthday shout out to this dude named Jimmy McWright. He had turned the big 35 decades today. So y'all tell that man happy birthday and make sure
Oh
he
yeah.
don't drink too doggone much. Because we got a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. We still side eyeing a certain person. What our thoughts was on the NBA draft free agency. Jim McWright is gonna clown on somebody in reference about college football or something, and a whole host of other things. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. If you need a clue,
What's popping and what's dropping, brother Marcus Johnson? Thank you for the birthday wish, man. I thank you for all the birthday wishes on Facebook as well as Twitter and Instagram as well. So if y'all listening to the show, man, thank you for the birthday wishes already. But I want to get on the NBA draft. Of course, you know Zion Williamson. Without further ado, he actually was the number one draft pick, which was no surprise to nobody. John Morant, no surprise to anybody after the performance he had in the first round, in his second round performance in a losing effort. That was no surprise. None of the top 10 picks. I don't think there was even a surprise in any of the top 10 picks from what I was looking at. Because it was pretty much everybody that was winning the lottery. It was expected. You know what I'm saying? But as for John Morant, me being a Grizzly fan, even though I like the Rockets as well, me being a Grizzly fan, I think John Morant needs to work on his defense. From what
yes.
study that I've seen, he's consistent offensively. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Passing is hit or miss. He's a very dangerous passer. But the thing is, he gets a lot of turnovers with his passing. So, you know, he averaged like 24 and 10, you know what I'm saying? And that's he needs to work on that. I'm gonna tell you that right now because in the NBA, he's gonna set some all-time records. He's gonna break Stockton Malone's records for turnovers, which those guys are 1 and 2 for turnovers, and for good reason. You know, the pick and roll, it was, if there were times where, when people knew that Stockton was gonna pass to Karl Malone and they intercepted those passes, as you saw in those NBA finals versus the Bulls and stuff like that. Shit like that does happen, but they did
Right.
have a productive career in the process. So that was very well expected. Whereas John Morant, I think, got a good chance of breaking that record if he keeps on fucking up the way he does. So he's got his strength is his weakness. So I hope he comes in the NBA and averages 2010, 24-10, 2010. We need a guy like that in the NBA. Even though we've seen it before, we do need that more often in the NBA. But Grizzlies gonna have fans. Y'all gonna have to be patient. Please be
Yes.
patient. Just be patient. I mean, I'm not saying continue to lose or nothing like that. Just be patient. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Just keep on coming to the games. Do like people in Nashville do. Whether the Predators win or lose, they're gonna come to the game. Whether the Titans win or lose, it's gonna be a sold out crowd. Win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Then the people don't got consecutive sold out crowd records for nothing. So, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all fail to support these Grizzlies, and I'm speaking to the people out in Memphis, if y'all fail to support these Grizzlies during this time frame, I think that owner is gonna look at, like Corey Wolf said, shout out to my brother from another like no other. That's why I call you my brother. I think he's right. They either may end up in Vegas, they may end up in Seattle, but I think the first place they're gonna end up in is Nashville. And the only reason why, and for a history lesson, the only reason why the Memphis Grizzlies did not end up in Nashville is because Nashville did not go after the Grizzlies. Let's please
Right.
be clear, because that was one of the first places I think the late owner. I think he's no longer with us from what I understand, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Now,
So,
now let me interject on something. My late father even said that, he said just by looking at that owner, because he bought the Grizzlies, I think the same year they went to the Western Conference Finals, and then he fired Lionel Hollins. He said just by looking at him, he said I ain't even met the dude, but just by looking at him, just by reading his body language, and the way he addresses people and talks to people, he doesn't talk with the media and all that. He said he a Maverick owner. He said he gonna slick move. He said he gonna slick move the Grizzlies out of.
Yeah.
And Corey said the same thing. I believe, hell, and I'm gonna put it like this. Wherever his ubiquity company is, he'll probably move the Grizzlies closer to them. I mean, if you're an owner, man, hey, you gotta let your front office make the right decisions. You're not Dan Gilbert. And even though I've had some things I had to say about Dan Gilbert, and I see why LeBron has that little love-hate relationship with him. The owner, I mean, the owner, he does, he wants to make, it seems like Pierre, he wants to pull a Jerry Jones. He wants to be the CEO, president, and general manager. And even though Jerry Jones surrendered the GM title to his son. So, but I think like you said, Jimmy, though, I didn't mean to interject on you. Grizzly fans need to be patient. And another thing, when they got this coach from Milwaukee, I knew it was coming because he bringing that 5-out offense with him. Then with them drafting Ja Morant, I knew that was coming. And let's face it, Grizzlies got a damn good trade out the deal because Mike Conley fit that offense Quinn Snyder runs up there in Utah. So Donovan Mitchell gonna get his points. Conley, he gonna do what he can. He gonna do what he can off of 2 bad Achilles, and even we know for a fact Corey Wolf don't like Conley for other reasons. But yeah, and Ricky Rubio, he's a free agent he's a what have you done for me lately point guard. He'll be wide open and he'll pass up a wide open shot. So I agree with you about Ja Morant. He needs to work on his defense. Yeah. There's a lot of cats I ain't heard of, like my Bulls. They drafted Kobe White from North Carolina. He needs to work on his fucking the dude got killed instinct, but how much?
Yeah.
And Washington got this dude from Guyana. Washington got this dude I ain't never heard of from Guyana. They said it might his attention span for the game is a little whack.
Yeah, but the NBA gonna teach him very well about attention span. So
put it like this: he on a team with two real ass niggas that's gonna make him wake up. Bradley Beal and John Wall.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it is what it is when it comes to that though. But with the Grizzlies, I think before Nashville, I think if Nashville get a crack at them, I think they're gonna muster up the money to get them. That's the Memphis fan base falls off because that's what the guy's waiting on for Memphis's fan base to fall off.
But he wanted to fall off, even because he's stirring the shit. Because basically, what he don't know it or not, when he fired Lionel Hollins, he did lose most of the fan base.
Yeah, and he did that. He did that purposely. But he shouldn't have did that because Hollins, was the foundation of their success, man. And without Hollins, you don't hear about the fucking Grizzlies because he got all the black players together and like, hey, y'all need to pull y'all pants up. Y'all need to act like y'all, got so goddamn sense. He pulled them to the side and had a real nigga talk with them. And that's what you need to do. He took all the non-black players out and he let them know. It's like, hey, y'all better get y'all shit together. I know, y'all like to go on Beale Street and drink and do nigga shit, but don't do that shit. And, after that, those guys ended up in the Western Conference Finals and could have possibly ended up in the NBA Finals had he not gotten fired.
Mm-hmm. It's most deaf. You there? Jimmy.
Run to the championship game. and that would have been big for Memphis in terms of their economy, because their economy was already growing with them going to the playoffs every year. Because during that Lionel Hollins years that they went to the NBA playoffs, they sold out every home game during those NBA playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? They sold out and that generated a lot of money for the owners. For the owners, you know, Heisley was there during that time, and then the Pierre guy came in and then got money off of that. So yeah, man, because like most of the money, and a side note again, when a team goes to the playoffs, that money revenue goes mostly to the owner. In the regular season, that money goes to the players, but in the playoffs, the money goes to the owners. You know what I'm saying? That's where the owners rack up money. That's the reason why a lot of those owners, like Cleveland and the partnerships up in the Golden State Warriors, they end up they get a lot of money. They'll go over the salary cap just to get that playoff money, because that playoff money is a lot of money right there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, guys get their playoff salary, but they don't get the lion's share of that playoff revenue. Their money comes in during the regular season, and they get the gates, the concession stands, and all that. You know, they get all that during the regular season, but everything else during the playoffs, that goes to the guys. Just for a side note. But the NBA draft, again, no surprise who went, you know, 1 through 10. You know, no surprise there at all. What do you think about that Hachimura guy ending up with the Washington Wizards? What's your take on that?
Oh, that shit. I like that. Man, that'll because you got because Bradley Beal and Wall got some weapons, man. Scotty Brooks with some weapons. Now, if the Hachimura guy, then one thing that I think he need to work on, and I think Mark Few been getting on him a little bit. You know, excuse noise in the background. He got to stay consistent with that jumper, man. Because you know, if you wide open, don't be afraid to take it. If you hit it, fine. If you miss the shot, fine. You know, he has to be consistent with that jumper. But other than that, hey, he can rebound, and also he got to be a little bit more aggressive too.
Yeah, because when he played against Texas Tech intimidated the fuck out of him. They intimidated the hell out of him, and Mark Few was getting on his ass. He was like, "Man, don't be scared, man," because they run that flex motion offense. You know what I'm saying? Which is a mixture of the pick and roll offense and a mixture of the motion offense. So, you know, you're gonna be wide open in that offense. You're gonna be wide open because there's a lot of screens in that particular offense and stuff like that. So. And on the side note, he actually played baseball out in Japan, and he could have made it in baseball. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this. He could have easily made it in baseball, and he just decided basketball was the best option for him. And then his family was in need of money as well too. So that was one of those things that he made. I think he made a good decision on going to basketball and stuff like that, because you know. His father, of course, he's an African guy, but they, you know, legally when you go to Japan, you have to change your name to a Japanese name. Just like my martial art instructor, his name is Anquan Bledsoe, but when he goes to Japan, his name is Anquan Kazazama. You know what I'm saying? Which they study ninjutsu and samurai jitsu as well. So like if I live in Japan.
So here in the States, I'll still be Craig Smith, but in Japan, I'll be known as Craig Kabushi or something, you know?
Correct. So if you're wondering why this black ass dude, and you know, he does have a Japanese mama, but the melanin, his mama obviously have some melanin down the family tree, because the Ainus up in Japan are black people. You have black people in Japan, which, you know, you go deep enough in there, because this is documented by my instructor and the other people who is not part of the so-called conscious community, which I will get to that in another day. It's too much to talk about, but it is some black people over there. So she obviously have some Negro down her bloodline, because you don't have that much melanin in you, and your mama is
Man.
damn near looking like a lily white Japanese person. It just
Man, cause
that's
see,
just
old boy look black though. He you
yeah.
know.
He's black. His mama is Japanese, but at some time somewhere down the line, because he would have been looking like a nigga niece. You know what I'm saying? He would have looked mixed. But the thing is, somewhere down the line, she has some black relatives. Somewhere down that bloodline, you have to. I mean, I've never seen his mother, but somewhere down the bloodline, she has to have some black relatives. That's just obvious. But he did have to change his name legally in Japan. But my instructor's name is King Kwan Kazazama up in Japan. You know, because when he goes out there, he got a dual citizenship. He has a United States citizenship and he has a Japanese citizenship. When you go out there, you have to change your name. So people is kind of wondering about that. But yeah, that's just the way that is. You know, he can't keep his Benice name, which that's where his father's from.
Right. But I think did you have any disappointments that matter of fact, you ever notice a trend with Atlanta? They always trading with somebody in the top spot.
Yeah.
Because New Orleans had a chance to get old boy that you like from Virginia, DeAndre Hunter, but Atlanta got him. I'm like, what the fuck? So I said, why won't they just win the lottery for once? Get in the top 10 and stop trading with everybody. Now I was shocked with that one.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. I had to move around real fast, but yeah. I was kind of Atlanta. What's? Oh, okay. Okay.
I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And to me, it's just, I think, and I understand, you know, much love to Dominique Wilkins, man, because I'm put like this: the only dude to ever fully recover from an Achilles tear. I don't know what he doing in that front. If he part of the front office or whoever run the Atlanta front office, look, stop being fucking lazy. Stop trading up top spots and shit. Get your own goddamn top spot.
Oh yeah.
Because that DeAndre Hunter could have went to New Orleans, man. That would have complimented. That would have been complete right there. But I think they got a good nucleus to go on down in New Orleans. And speaking of that, well, I'm gonna talk about that later. Was there any disappointments in the draft for you? Because I gotta say that was a disappointment for me what Atlanta did.
I can't say because everything that I saw in the draft was pretty much expected. As far as I'm concerned, everything was expected. Yeah.
Yep. Damn. Excuse me. Yep.
Yeah, his mother. Yeah, she looks like a traditional Japanese person. So just getting back on the topic. Yeah, that particular topic. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So he has to have somebody down the line. But yeah, I don't see anything I don't see the draft. Nothing on the disappointment side of the draft because everything that happened was expected. It might be for some, but everything that happened was expected. I expected one of those guys from Virginia to go top 10, top 15, top 20. Jerome, he went up in the draft. But again, getting on Virginia ass. I'm gonna tell you again, Virginia coach Tony. Stop slowing down the game, dude. You gonna fuck around and lose championships like that. I mean, Dean Smith lost a lot of championships trying to play that old 1925 ass basketball. Get that out your system, man. You can't slow down everybody because it's proven that when they play above the rim, they win. Because you can use that pack line defense in a fast-paced system. It's proven. His dad Dick did it at Wisconsin. It was just Wisconsin was playing in the Big Ten when the Big Ten was at its prime, and they, you know, when Indiana was at their prime, when Michigan was at their prime.
Was coach of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you gotta.
But his dad. Here's the difference between Dad and Tony.
Yeah,
Dad played the same offense as Tony. Dad ran the same offense Tony running, but he was more up tempo with it.
Yeah, and he don't have, and like I say, he does not have to slow it down. He just need to score because he damn near lost championships. He damn near lost the championship for them twice. You know what I'm saying? So like, just keep playing, just score. Because when Virginia scored, they easily won the game. You know, yeah, their defense came back, but they tried to slow the game down. You know, basketball is a game of scoring. It ain't no game of, you know what I'm saying, we're going to slow the ball down. No. Because if you slow the game down, you got to score. It's in a situation where you got to score. Where if you're scoring in bunches, then you ain't got to worry about scoring because, hey, you're in a situation to where these guys got to play catch up and stuff like that. So I wish these dudes would stop playing that slow down ass offense. Unless you got a good score or a damn good center, that shit is not going to work. It's not going to work. This will be your only championship if you keep playing like that. I mean, the defense is arguably the best defense out there because, yes, those guys tend to be slow playing on the defensive end. So the pack line defense is the best defense to have, but let those guys play their game on the offensive end. The offensive end is important, but I'm proud of those guys, you know, for getting in the draft. I'm proud of them for standing up Trump and making that bullshit excuse, but I love the bullshit excuse when it comes to that hoe. I love every minute of this shit.
Oh, talking about what the president?
Oh, hell yeah. Every minute of
it. That was all Tony. That was Tony, bro.
Oh, that was all hell yeah. Oh man, he made the bullshit ass. But I love it.
it was a good bullshit excuse. But I'm gonna say this here though. Enes Kanter, you know, he took a shot at Julius Randle saying I'm not saying that Zion Williamson is a little bit better than Julius Randle. But Julius told Enes Kanter, he said, dude, I scored 45 points on you, so calm down, bro. When you think about it, Enes does have a point. But I'm gonna get on him. Yeah. Enes does have a point because Zion's 1 year. Okay, both of they 1 years because a guy that you love to hate, Cowherd, pulled up an interesting stat. Zion averaged 23.3 points per game in his freshman year. His Randall averaged averaged, I think, 18 points. Julius Randle shot 50%. Zion shot 63, shot almost 64%. Zion Williamson shot 35% threes. And then there was a multiple game stretch where Zion had a season best of 46%. During Duke's one of Duke's win streaks. Julius Randle hit only 15% of his threes. Where did Zion play?
Zion played at Duke.
Okay. And where did Julius Randle play? Kentucky. Yeah, hold on a second.
Julius Randle.
Podcast. Hold on. Hey, take a break for a second, man. Hey, Phil everybody in for a second. I gotta make a run real quick. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. But looking at Julius Randle's stats, well, let me go to boxing. I'm gonna get to that topic in a second, man. But finna go to boxing, man. But congratulations to my boy Jermall Charlo for becoming the WBC champion, baby, live and direct in full effect. You know what I'm saying? He out here in Houston. He's gonna make his first title defense today up in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to my boy Jermall Charlo. Much respect to all the boxing people that's out here, the boxing voices in town. Barbershop Conversations. Most of the top YouTube guys out here in Houston is like they're out and about at the Reliance Center, the NRG Center, looking at the fight. About to look at the fight later on tonight. They're out and about. If you're up in Pearland, they're gonna have a event out here in Pearland. Deontay Wilder is actually out here in town. So if you're in the Memphis area, the Houston area, I'm about to say the Memphis area. If you're in the Houston area, you can get the opportunity to see Deontay Wilder out here in Houston. But looking at Jamal Charlo, man. Jamal Charlo, people scared of him, and I look forward to Jamal Charlo, actually becoming undisputed in that department as well, man. After Canelo dropping off all the belts, and he's supposed to drop the other belts, but it's not official just yet. But the WBC did make him the franchise champion. I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous, man. He need to cut that shit out. So, it is what it is when it comes to Jamal Charlo, and congratulations on him getting this championship, man. Another congratulations, I want to congratulate Richard Commey for stopping Raymond Beltran. He stopped him in the 8th round. Easy work for him, pretty much, man. Raymond Beltran gonna give you his best, but sometimes his best is not the best for the fighter that he's fighting up against. So shout out to Raymond Beltran. I think Beltran at this point needs to just retire because he's been taking too many punishment. He's taking too much punishment, and I don't think he needs to continue to fight if he's gonna suffer, big setbacks like that. And Commey is one of those heavy-handed punchers that's giving people the business, man. And ever since he got with Andre Rozier, Rozier is fine-tuning that guy up easily, man. He lost his first fight. You can argue that he beat the guy, but Richard Commey lost his first fight against what's that kid's name? I'm gonna look it up real quick. Richard Commey. I'm looking at because I'm at a brain fart right now. Richard Commey versus who did he lose to? Because I know he lost to a Russian guy. Versus hold on. Commey. Couldn't have been. I'm just looking it up, so I'm just I went into a brain freeze. If anybody out there Robert Easter Jr. I'm sorry. Can't believe I had a brain freeze right there. But he lost to a guy I took a picture with. Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter, you could argue he won the Robert Easter fight. And even the Shackleton fight was pretty debatable. I felt like Shackleton won, but you can argue he won that fight too. But ever since then, he's been knocking literally everybody out but one fighter. He went to Accra, Ghana, and got a fight out there months after he lost to Shackleton. And he's been knocking everybody ass out. So that's one of those guys. I saw him beat Alejandro Luna, a previously undefeated prospect, at the Freeman Coliseum, and he just made easy work of him. And then Isa Shinev, he made easy work of him, which I did a little video on him as well. So he made easy work of him. So, but again, congratulations to Richard Commey. And I don't know about with him fighting Lomachenko. I don't know if he can beat Lomachenko, but all I gotta say is Richard Commey bet not catch Vasyl Lomachenko. Are you back right now, Ken Folks? I thought he was back for a second. So, but he bet not catch Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because dude got some pop to his power. And if he catches Lomachenko, I think that's the end of Lomachenko, So Lomachenko better keep on being the Matrix of old, like he been. So it is what it is when it comes to that. In that particular department, let me see. Do I got any news? Other news?
All right, I'm back. I apologize, y'all. Something had to help. Somebody came in the house for a second. I had to help them with something. But yeah,
no
but Enos, but like I said, Enos character did have a good point.
Yeah,
because Julius, man, let's face it. Because if Julius roles were reversed, if Julius Randle had went to Duke, them numbers probably would have been a little bit better. But see, Julius got some issues about him as a player. He too inconsistent. I mean, he inconsistent, and then when you under Calipari, you're programmed. He peg programmed you to play the way you're supposed to be. Well, let me put it like this. He programmed you to play the way he wants you to play instead of how you play, which has its positives and has its negatives. But but Enos does have a point. But on the other hand, Enos has room to talk himself because New York Knicks Enes Kanter and all this shit, he was the drizzling shits. OKC Enes Kanter was a little bit better than Steven Adams. Portland Enes Kanter is maybe on par because he got Damian Lillard. And I think his numbers, and if old boy don't come back from that leg injury or whatnot, Enos gonna fucking clown. Because he clowned in the playoffs when he took old boy's place, man. When he had Lillard.
Yeah.
But what's your take on that?
But with the Enes Kanter at OKC, he was getting a lot of those points off of assists that Russell Resthaven had, because Russell Resthaven's assist numbers was slowly going up at that particular time too, because before then he was averaging like 6 assists a game, and then that's when you start seeing Russell Resthaven get 10 assists a game. But a lot of Russell Resthaven's play, Enes Kanter's play came also off of Russell Resthaven. It's just keep it at 1,010. Same with Steven Adams. Also with Julius Randle. Julius Randle's points per game number has gone up the last couple of years. So even though Randle is inconsistent, I think he's coming into his prime. So I think he's improving slowly but for surely. But the improvement needs to speed up. You know what I'm saying? Because and
then he playing with Alvin Gentry too, so it's no excuses.
Yeah. So he's not gonna have a goddamn excuse, because Alvin Gentry gonna sit his happy ass down. So I mean, he scored 45 points against the Portland Trailblazers, versus Enes Kanter, like he says. But he's gonna need to step his game up, hands down. He's gonna need to step his game up. I don't know if he's gonna be at the New Orleans Pelicans. I think he's gonna get shipped around again, and shipped around as a role player. So it is what it is with Julius Randle. I don't have too much bad things to say about both guys, because one, I see improvement in one guy, Enes Kanter. I think he's more of a guy that played more off of Russell Resthaven and played more off of the Urkel McCullum and goddamn BG Lillard up in this motherfucker. So,
but I think Kanter is better with them than he was with Resthaven.
Well, because Resthaven had to distribute the ball. The reason for that is he had to distribute the ball at the time with what's the dude name, Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't have made sense for him to try to get Enes Kanter, make Enes Kanter the fucking superstar. That wouldn't have made no damn sense at all. But when Russell Resthaven was playing at that high level at that particular time before they blew the Western Conference Finals, they let the league points in the paints. You know what I'm saying? He was playing at a good level at that time, but it's just when Durant left, Russell Resthaven hadn't done shit. He's been a statistical freak, but averaging 3 triple doubles for 3 straight seasons, which has never been done in NBA history. But he's a stat guy. He's a stat padder, basically. You know what I'm saying?
But he's not a leader.
Yeah, he's not a leader. Yes, getting a triple double, averaging a triple double for 3 straight seasons, your team has to put in some work. Your team has to get points. But the thing is, he has not shown his leadership quality, and he has not shown maturity. And this is the player, Russell Westbrook. I'm not criticizing his personal life. I don't give a fuck about his personal life. But that nigga do need to step his game up. Or I think if OKC can't get past the first round, what I would do with Russell Resthaven, I would trade that motherfucker. That's what I would do. I would trade.
But like Chris Paul, who want that contract though. And speaking of which, what do you think about Jimmy Butler being in a Rocket uniform?
It would not be a surprise to me. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jimmy Butler lives out here I've been telling people this for years. People don't really leave Houston. They just, from celebrities to basketball players, people don't leave Houston. If they do, they're gonna have a house out here for sure. Jimmy Butler lives out here in the offseason, just like DeAndre Jordan, just like Rashard Lewis, just like Mario Chalmers, and to name a few. I'm just naming a few people that lives out here. You'll be surprised who lives out here. Surprised. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where I say Houston got a 60% chance of landing Butler. And if you land Butler, I say you might need to keep Chris Paul because Chris Paul is better when he's distributing. And I think it would be easier for him to distribute the ball. Butler, 3-point shot, that nigga got a, as the weed smokers would say, Butler got a Reggie-ass jumper. You know what I'm saying? But his mid-range, I mean, when I say jumper, I'm talking about 3-point shot. His jumper is a Reggie-ass 3-point shot. But his mid-range game to his slashing ability, he can get you points, easy points. So I say it's a 60% chance. With the other 40% chance, he gonna stay in Philadelphia. It would shock me that he would go anywhere else. Because Philadelphia is on the brink of probably going to the NBA Finals. So I think if he don't come to Houston, it would not make no sense to break up the Philadelphia 76ers team to go anywhere else if he doesn't come to Houston. Because Houston, right, I think they could get a championship out of it or could at least contend for it at least once in the process. So I think if he ends up coming to Houston, that'll be your third scorer. Eric Gordon gonna pretty much be coming off the bench. So he'll be your third scorer. Eric Gordon can come off the bench. Paul can distribute the ball. Even if you get rid of Paul, you're gonna need a ball distributor. So who gonna distribute the ball? Because it's gonna be too many people trying to take fucking shots. And you don't have the same situation that you had at Minnesota where Karl Anthony Towns at the time, formerly known as Karl Anthony Clowns, you're gonna have a situation where you have Andrew Flickens and fucking Karl Anthony Clown situation. You don't want that situation to occur. So if you're gonna get rid of Paul, you need a ball distributor that could score. You know what I'm saying? I think it would make sense to keep him then. But again, don't be shocked if the Houston Texans, the Houston Rockets get rid of Chris Paul or try to trade him. Yes, people ain't going.
But who want that money? But see, all that money this man do for Chris Paul, what we said on that last show, $35 million this coming year, $38 million next year. No, he got a 30, 35, a 40, and a 38. So
yeah.
So somebody more need his ass with about that contract there. It's like, damn.
I see the only two teams I see picking up that damn contract.
The Lakers.
110, the Lakers or Boston.
What about the Clippers? No,
the Clippers ain't gonna take that shit. No. Either the Lakers or Boston. Between those two, I don't see anybody else taking it. If somebody else take that, then somebody take the wheel. But other than that, I don't see anybody else taking that contract. But Fertitta let them know, because like I say, I've been knowing about Fertitta the last 4 years, and my boy Coach Sheldon Harris put me up on this dude because he's related to the other Fertittas up in Las Vegas who run the UFC. Fertitta, you don't say no to the Fertittas, and Fertitta gets their way. So that's one thing that's gonna happen. I think Fertitta is trying to go for a championship because he knows teams in the West is gonna try to load up and stack up. So either he gonna keep Paul or he gonna make that move for Jimmy Butler. And for what I understand, and here's another thing before I make this point. ESPN in particular, because Fox, they know the business. Y'all don't know shit about Houston. I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers right now, you don't know shit about Houston. For them to come up with that bullshit talking about Chris Paul demanding a trade, and then he was like, and Chris Paul said, that's news to my ears. Motherfucker, look at the local news before y'all start popping y'all damn gums. Look at the local news before you start. I'm talking about the local news in Houston. If you know about the local news in Houston, they're pretty accurate here in Houston. But ESPN, stop trying to think. Y'all don't know shit about Houston. Because Houston, for the most part, we're pretty low-key people. We don't floss out here like that. We don't be like, you don't talk to the media out here like that. The media comes to you. And we don't harass people in the media. Y'all don't know shit about Houston. I'm speaking of ESPN. I'm not talking to anybody else but ESPN. Start spreading these cockamamie ass rumors. The Jimmy Butler rumor, okay, I can tell you now that is rumor. And you're talking to a guy that don't look at the media like that. But I do get notifications on what goes on. I get notifications and I keep up with notifications. And yes, they're in talks with Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't be shocked if Fertitta popped up at his house up in Tomball / Cypress, because he got a couple of houses out here. I would not be surprised if they popped up at his house and told him, hey, come on, be a Houston Rocket. You're a hometown guy. You know what I'm saying? We know what your situation was when you was a child. The guy was homeless as a 12-year-old kid. And he, it was some white people that took him in. And, he became a top player up in Houston. So I think Butler will be in Houston. I strongly think Butler will be in Houston. And if he don't come to Houston, he'll be in Philadelphia. What is your take on that, brother?
I think the same thing. And let me ask you this. You say when you say about Jimmy Butler, going to say Jimmy McRight's jump shot. Jimmy Butler's jump shot, is it better than Ben Simmons?
Nigga, I would take Jimmy Butler's jump shot over Ben Simmons' Reggie ass jumper any day of the week. Man, he got more Reggie in his jumper than some brown bag weed. Lazy ass man. I would take Jimmy Butler's Reggie anytime over that motherfucker jumper.
But at least he consistent with the shit. That's one thing I can say about Jimmy's jump shot.
Yeah, he's working on it, but he is who he is. He's a slasher. He's not the most clutch guy, but he can play defense. He does other things to help his team out. So I can, and then when he comes to Houston, he can play the small forward position instead of Houston playing ultra small ball, because they had James Harden at the small forward position, so they can have Eric Gordon as the starting shooting guard with Paul being the point guard. No, right. Keep Eric Gordon coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Let him be that Vinnie Johnson player that Detroit had. You know what I'm saying? Because Detroit had like 3 guards that could score 15 points a game, plus points a game. Vinnie Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Joe Dumars. So let him be that Vinnie Johnson that comes off the bench. He's better when he comes off the bench. So keep him going. Put Jimmy Butler at the small forward position. I don't know what they're gonna do with Capella, so that's up in the air too. But they're shopping him around as we speak. That's confirmed. We know for a fact they're shopping him around. That's no dispute on that. And speaking of which, let me get on Stephen A. Coons.
Get on.
Stephen A. Coons.
Get on. What he did this time, man? What he said now?
Because he was talking about that. Well, we New York Knicks fans don't want no DeMarcus Cousins and all this other good stuff. I'm gonna tell you this: DeMarcus Cousins don't want to come to your goddamn KKK having ass owner any fucking way. You fucking coon. And you could use a DeMarcus Cousins, believe it or not. A healthy one, you could definitely use him. You know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Cousins ain't trying to come to y'all motherfucking sorry asses. The fuck you talking about? Talking about we don't want DeMarcus Cousins. You need all the help y'all motherfuckers can get. Because your fucking stupid ass owner is a fucking stupid ass motherfucker, man. He need to sell that goddamn team. Yeah, he's been a successful businessman, but the dude, he can't keep up with the times no goddamn more. Anytime you have the security team escort the legendary Charles Oakley, which I think he's due to be in the Hall of Famer. He wasn't the first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he was a Hall of Famer for the New York Knicks because he was real help with Patrick Ewing during those times of the New York Knicks and gave them Chicago all they can handle. And at one point,
I felt he should have stayed the Bull, dog.
Say what now?
I felt he should have stayed with the Bull.
But he wasn't in control of that. The general managers traded him for Bill Cartwright. You know what I'm saying? And I felt he should have stayed a Bull too. Let's not get it twisted. And Michael Jordan said Charles Oakley was dirtier than Dennis Rodman. He would rather get beat up by Dennis Rodman. He said that this is in his book. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, the Detroit Pistons did not start using those tactics until Charles Oakley left because they knew Charles Oakley was about that life. But with this motherfucker, James Dolan, whatever the fuck his name is, I know he's the co-founder of HBO, founder of Cablevision and all that. Nobody wants to come to that sorry ass team, and I hope y'all don't get no fucking body. The only thing y'all gonna be building is from the draft, and it's gonna take y'all some years to do that. But fucking the Boogie Cousins don't want to come to y'all sorry asses. He don't want to. Y'all motherfuckers is sorry. So New York fans, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to become Brooklyn Nets fans right now. Knicks fans, y'all need to become Nets fans at this point, because ain't nobody trying to fuck with that Reggie ass goddamn team. You know what I'm saying? That dry weed having ass team, man. Don't nobody give a fuck about the goddamn New York Knicks. He ain't trying to come to the New York Knicks. From my reports, and I'm saying from my reports because I don't know what goes on in the Bay. But I do trust my boy Town Biz and my boy Cali Enigma, who's out in the Bay, that I have a relationship with in terms of conversation being on their platforms. But from their reports, Boogie Cousins is trying to sign a minimum deal to stay at the Golden State Warriors so he can get him a championship. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he takes a max deal, that's good for him. It could work either way, man. You know, I would have loved to see Boogie Cousins get that championship. But ain't nobody trying to go to that Reggie ass weed goddamn New York Tricks. Ain't nobody trying to go to that Reggie ass team.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck the New York Knicks. I hope y'all don't get no motherfucking body. I hope y'all don't get one motherfucker. I hope y'all don't get Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant need to stay his ass at Golden State. And I'm gonna get on Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant will sign probably $15 to $20 million contract with the Golden State Warriors.
But did you hear about what he do to make if he decide to re-sign with the Warriors?
He did turn down $31 million.
Yeah, because see, this the second time he did that with them.
But he did that to keep the team together. When he turned down the money the first time, he wanted to keep Stephen Curry because there were talks up in the Bay Area that they might have had to let Curry or Thompson go. There was rumors about that. Kevin Durant said, "Don't give me this contract. I want those guys to stay because I want to get some championships on my resume." So I think that's what he's trying to do again. So because Kevin Durant, he already got endorsements and switched throughout the entire year. So he's not worried about. He ain't tripping on no money. Just give me 15, 20. And I think he's trying to be like either one or two things he's going to do. Either he's actually going to leave Golden State and New York Trick fans don't get y'all genital area wet. Don't get y'all genital areas wet for that. Either he going to leave the Golden State Warriors or he's trying to make another championship run. That's either one or two things. Guys don't do that only do that for one or two reasons. I hope he don't go to the New York Tricks. I'd rather keep him as a Brooklyn Net before he a goddamn New York Trick fan. Fuck goddamn James Dolan. Fuck that hoe. So yeah, it is what it is with Stephen A. Coons. Fuck your Knicks and fuck James Dolan too. Goddamn it. The fans is cool. I like New York Knicks fans, but as far as the actual organizations and who run the organization, fuck them hoes. So I hope they don't get shit out of this thing. So it is what it is when it comes to that department. So I wanted to clown his ass real quick. I think it was Chris Kane I wanted to clown. He said some real dumb ass. Oh, Kawhi Leonard, aka Chiron. My name is Chiron, and I'm a fuck Aisha Curry long dick style. My fellow Cancerian friend. Oh yeah, Chris Kane. Chris Kane said. Say what now?
What did he say?
I say his name is Chiron. I'm gonna fuck Aisha Curry long dick style. Chiron, aka Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? You saw the meme on Facebook. But Chris Kane said that if Kawhi Leonard goes to the LA Lakers, that would be the third weakest move in NBA history. Now, me and my boy Craig Smith the second is divided on this particular topic. He said Kawhi should not go to the Lakers.
Hell no.
Yeah,
no, because see, he got a max deal waiting on him if he decides to stay in Toronto, and then plus he needs to stop listening. I think Kawhi, he's grown. Yeah, we got him. I got him by 12. Jimmy, you got him by 7 years. I got him by going on 13. I really think, man, he needs to shit. Toronto got that max deal waiting on him. He needs to stop listening to his fucking uncle making decisions for him and shit. And
but I think it's right now, since he won 2 finals MVP, it's his decision at this point. Yeah, I think it's his decision, because I feel like once a player wins a championship or gets close to winning a championship, even if we're divided on this topic, and I want to call it Chris Kane on this, but with that being said, it's his decision. That's why they call it free agency. See, you media guys wanted to go back to the old days to where the owners made all the money and the players was limited to $35,000 a year, $100,000 a year. You wanted to go back to that because you want your favorite teams to get a championship off of ripping off the fucking players. Kawhi Leonard, whether he comes to the Lakers or whether he goes to Toronto, is his goddamn fucking decision. You saw what the goddamn San Antonio Spurs did to this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
What they did to my fellow Kevin.
Yeah, and you know what? And I didn't like that one bit.
And I didn't like that one bit. But I understand, because he did get hurt a lot at San Antonio. I didn't like that one bit. I think Popovich would have liked him to stay, but it was injury. It was becoming a liability to the San Antonio Spurs, and they had to make some type of move that they needed to make. I get that. I don't get mad at the owners making the moves they make. I don't get mad at the owners making the move that they make. So why should you get mad at him making the best move for him? If he goes to the Lakers, he didn't felt like that is the fucking best move for him. If he going to the Lakers, the only reason why is he feels like that is the best move for him. I'm with you. I don't think he should go to the Lakers because people are comparing him to Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. So when you got that kind of comparisons, you need your own team. I say, nigga, go to Boston before you go to fucking.
Oh, hell no. Play with Kyrie? Oh, hell no.
But I think it'll work out there in Boston. Go somewhere else that's contending, because the thing is, Kawhi Leonard is in a power position right now, and he's in the biggest power position out there. He's talking to Magic Johnson. He said, "I want to speak to Magic Johnson and you, Jenny Buss." He didn't say, "I want to speak to Rob Pelinka with his punk ass," but I'm gonna get on Rob Pelinka later. I want to speak to you and Magic Johnson. I want y'all to come to my little Oceanside, California house, which is a few, not too far of a drive. You can literally catch the bus and you can catch the train and make it there within an hour, 20, hour 30. You know what I'm saying? Which typically will take you about hour 40, 45 minutes from that area. You know, same area that Junior Seau had a house, host of San Diego Chargers had, but I digress. But Kawhi Leonard is in a power position. And when a person is in a power position, they have the right to do what the fuck they want. If he goes to the Lakers, it's not going to be the fucking third weakest move. No, it's a fucking boss move. Because, bitch, I can win a championship with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? They gonna win. They will win a championship at some point between this year and next year. They will win a championship. And I'm not knocking whatever move he makes. I just believe, and I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just divided in terms of what he's gonna do, because what he's gonna do, you know, he's a cancer, and we're very unpredictable with what moves we make. You'll be shocked at the moves we make. That's the type of people we are. We'll surprise your ass. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's his fucking decision. Whatever he does, I'm gonna rock with that nigga 1,000%, whether I want him to do it or not. I'm gonna rock with him 1,000%. Long as he don't get the cooning and tap dancing and eyes bucking and being a Sambo shuffling ass nigga, I don't give a fuck what he does. If he stay in Toronto, fine. You got a max deal. You know what I'm saying? You balling. If he go to Boston or somewhere else, he balling. But he's in a poor position. You don't have a right to tell a motherfucker where they gotta go. Because goddamn it, Chris Kane, you couldn't.
Now who is Chris Kane anyway?
Huh? I think he's for ESPN. He won ESPN.
That's Will Kane.
Will, whatever the fuck his name. I don't give a fuck what his goddamn name is. But the fact that that hoe would say some hoe ass shit like that, he need to suck a dick. Goddamn it, he has a right to do whatever.
Anyway, hold on. Will Kane say some whole ass shit anyway. To the point even Stephen A. had to put that man on blast.
Exactly, and I said his name wrong. Good thing for correcting me. I don't mind to be corrected if I'm wrong about something. But the nigga is a hoe for saying that whole ass shit. And players and fanboys need to stop making this argument too, because everybody gets mad because guys want to be in the best position that they possibly want to be. When Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, I was happy for him because you know what? We knew for a fact that they was going to win a championship because he gets them an extra option to score inside out, plays great defense, damn good help defender, one of the best help defensive guys in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at a dude for making the best decision for him and his family because you know what I'm saying? What gives you a legacy? What gives you a legacy is one of two things. You put up badass motherfucker stats, or you get a number of championships and be a key contributor to championships. So if a dude wants to, let's say Kyrie Irving wants to go to the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry come off the bench for Stephen Curry, I'm not gonna knock him for that. I'm not gonna knock him for that because A, he's already won a championship on his own. B, that's his fucking decision. We need to stop being hoe ass motherfuckers and hating on motherfuckers' decisions out here. It's their decision. Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'll go as far as to tell you this: Curt Flood in baseball, because this was a significant Curt Flood suing Major League Baseball back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Gave the foundation for free agency. Without that man, people don't get the opportunities to make this goddamn move. And I'm gonna tell you right now, baseball need their ass whooped for not even putting that guy in the Hall of Fame, because without Curt Flood, they don't. The St. Louis Cardinals don't have the championship, the two championships they had in the 60s. So it's a crime and a goddamn shame to not honor that man, Curt Flood. But I'm gonna get on Curt Flood and have a comparison to basketball. The reason why you motherfuckers are able to drop a team and go and make millions of dollars, goddamn. Some of you motherfuckers is probably billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Or gonna be billionaires pretty soon. But the reason why you motherfuckers have the opportunity to make the money you make is Curt Flood from baseball. Yes, it to a certain degree you feel like it might not have nothing to do with baseball, nothing to do with basketball. But goddamn it has a lot to do with it, because he built the foundation for free agency. For you motherfuckers to go out here and team hop. And I'm not knocking that motherfucker team hopping, but y'all need to be thanking that motherfucker every chance y'all get. Look him up. It's documented, well documented in the 70s. You know, he lost a case, but the guys saw the light. You know, even the NFL takes this. Even the NHL has free agency. Every major sports league has free agency because Curt Flood fought for that motherfucker. So y'all need to be thanking that motherfucker every time. And that's why I'm glad when guys make these moves, because it can benefit your team, it can hurt your team. But when it benefits your team, guess what? Y'all getting a championship. Y'all celebrating on whatever y'all biggest streets. You might celebrate on Westheimer Road. You might celebrate it on Flagler Avenue out in Miami. You might celebrate it on Times Square. You might celebrate it on Longshore. I think it's Longshore Drive. You know what I'm saying? Up in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You know. Lakeshore Drive, you might celebrate it. Lakeshore Drive, you might celebrate it on Hollywood Boulevard. Whatever your biggest street is, goddamn, you might celebrate it on Bourbon Street. But whatever your main street is, free agency plays a major factor in y'all getting y'all goddamn championships. So before you fanboys get to popping your goddamn gums about this, that's a weak move, bitch, shut your goddamn ass up. And enjoy the ride, goddamn it. Because every once in a while, it might benefit your team for somebody to be like, hey, I'm a free agent. I'm gonna bust this goddamn move. And Kawhi Leonard, make the best decision for you in your goddamn family. Because I feel like with those two NBA Finals MVP, he solidified his position as a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, he solidified his position at this point. You know, whether he get injured again or not, he solidified his place in the Hall of Fame, in my personal opinion.
Right. Yeah. So, and I and really, and like I said, I really don't. I'll be honest with you. I would love him to stay in Toronto. So they can win another game. Because see, Toronto don't have nothing in place to replace him. Okay. I really think and I'm be honest with you, if Kawhi would lead Toronto, I don't think Toronto. I think that'll set Toronto back big time. I don't think they'll have somebody now. Siakam, yeah, he may do something, but you're gonna need more help other than Siakam and then Kyle Lowry, and whatever, and Marc Gasol. I mean, you really gonna need that nucleus to come on back, man. But like you said, hey, he's 28 years old. He's an adult. And sometimes, man, players make some decisions that'll piss you off, and they really don't give no fucks about it.
Yeah.
As a fan, they don't get you really. And let's just be honest here. We understand, NBA is a business, and I really think, man, the NBA, players in the NBA really don't give three fucks what the fans think of them or not. They got that mentality like this here. Hey, I'm just here to play ball. I ain't, I don't care, then to quote some of what the Grizzlies owner said something about the Grizzlies fans, which kind of pissed the Grizzlies fans off. He don't have to cater to the fans. This is a business. And as much as that was some fuck, he did, even though that was some fuck shit, Pierre did say, when you think about it, he does have a point. I don't agree with what he said about that either, but you have some that organizations that cater to the fans' best interests or their interests, and others really don't give a fuck. Like New York, for example. They don't give a fuck about their organization.
Yeah.
NBA is a cutthroat business, and really the reason, and let's be real here. The reason why Will Kane can say that shit because he has LeBron's nuts in his mouth. So, matter of fact, everybody in ESPN has LeBron's nuts in their mouth. So,
yeah, I mean, but again, it's his decision, and he needs to make the best decision for his family. But regardless of what he does, you know what I'm saying? As a player, appreciate the fans as well. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to kiss the fans' ass. I'm going to say that right now. You ain't got to kiss their ass, but appreciate the fans. For the fan base, as far as an owner, that's a little different because you're a businessman and you got to keep a good reputation. And you don't try to be I can't even say you can't be a fan pleaser because you in somebody else's backyard and you're not from out there. So you gotta cater to the fans to a certain degree, or you ain't finna get nobody to come to the game. So, but you don't have to submit to them for every goddamn move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's
like Grizzlies fans are tired of Chris Wallace. Stop constantly bringing him back. Why you keep firing and bringing this dude back and he still make the same mistakes? Which I agree with Grizzlies fans on about.
Yeah, so you gotta make the best move for the fans in terms of if you want people to support you, because you can't fuck about what you do if you're making the best decisions.
Right.
Case in point, the Pittsburgh Steelers get rid of people every year. They continue to stay consistent and they continue to win championships every 5-10 years. Keep them in contention every 5 to 10 years. So that's a give or take situation to where the fans, I got rid of Joey Porter, but I got another good linebacker out here. I got James Harrison. I got this guy. I got that guy. I got TJ Watt. I got TJ Watt coming in this motherfucker. So, yeah, I mean, it's a give or take situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nobody is getting ripped off in that situation because Pittsburgh is continuing to contend. You know what I'm saying? So you can't ever say that as an owner, you can't ever come out and say, well, I don't give a fuck with these fans. These motherfuckers are the ones that make your money. Those are the guys that pay your ownership salary. Generate your revenue so you can pay the players and shit like that. So I don't think an owner could ever truly say that. Players can, because players could piss off one fans and get loved by another set of fans. You could always get traded.
Westbrook.
Go ahead.
Westbrook.
Russell Westhaven. You can always piss off fans and end up getting traded, and hey, a whole nother fan base be like, well, we love you out here. So you can always shuffle your way as a player. Owners can't do that because you got to sell the team. The NBA got to approve the sale if you sell that motherfucker. I think the NBA commissioner, then they got to get approval from at least majority of the owners in the NBA. So it's a process right there. So you can't truly say fuck the fans as an owner. You can't really say that. So I'm saying to players and players and owners, to a certain degree with players, but more so the owners, appreciate your fans. Appreciate your fans for what they are. So it is what it is, man.
Most definitely.
What are the topics?
You said you had a gripe about You said you had a gripe about Alabama football.
Oh, yes, sir. Got you. Alabama football. Now,
so Jimmy McWright, what is your gripe with my team?
I don't really have a gripe with your team. I have the gripe with the haters of your team. Because Alabama, 17 national championships, you can argue 19 to 18, which one of those championships they don't claim. Probably for good reasons. But the thing is, with Alabama, according to ESPN, have the softest schedule of any Division I team in history. Division I team in this year. I'm about to say history, but this year. They started the season off with Duke and then New Mexico State. Then they play South Carolina for the first time in I don't know how long. And then they play Ole Miss, their traditional rivalry. Then they play Southern Miss. Now, last time Duke has a history of beating Alabama from what I understand. But, it's been so long ago that I might not remember it. I don't think they've ever beaten Alabama in recent years. But I know during the Southern Intercollegiate Conference, Duke was rivals with Tennessee during that timeline. They were rivals prior to the breakup of the SEC and the beginning of the SEC, from the split of the SEC to the split of the ACC. We do know this as an indisputable fact. Southern Miss have a history of beating Alabama. And every conference that Southern Miss goes, they compete. They either win a conference championship or they're in contention of a conference championship. So for you ESPN haters of the Alabama Crimson Tide, I'm not a Crimson Tide fan, but I respect history. I respect that they have the most titles. They've outside of Grambling State, they have gotten drafted the most NFL players. You know what I'm saying? I would probably say Grambling State probably drafted more players than Alabama, slightly. And it might not be that much more, but but Alabama does have rich history. Alabama at this point can do whatever the fuck they want to do at this point.
Thank you.
And this is coming from somebody who is not a fucking Alabama fan. I am a diehard Tennessee and Memphis Tiger fan, hands down.
And on behalf of myself to ESPN, fuck you.
They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Because goddamn it, Alabama has been playing tough motherfuckers for ages. Let's just say this again.
The whole SEC schedule tough.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Duke could easily compete in the ACC. If Duke don't get into a bowl game, they're gonna be competing. Because Duke, let's just face it. Duke's football team is better than what you think it is.
Oh hell yeah!
They're better than what you think they are. They have been ranked under David Cutcliffe a few times, and damn near beat Johnny Football in his last season.
Man, that was a good game there, bro.
Damn near beat them. And they just drafted a top 5 quarterback who shouldn't have been drafted, but he got drafted, so they saw something in him. Okay, we're going to stick with that too. Don't sleep on them hoes. Duke will surprise you in the ACC. They have been competing in the ACC.
And Dave Cutcliffe is with the times.
It's with the times, and he's been able to recruit at Duke. He's been able to recruit at a team that you got to have a 3.0. You have to have a 3.0 to go to Duke University. If you don't have a 3.0, they're not even considering you. And I had people at my school get considered for Duke, but they just took the other route. And again, with Southern Miss is not a slouch either. Yes, they still playing Conference USA and all that other good stuff. And I think the American Conference should consider getting Southern Miss in there because they do have a loyal fan base. If now that UConn is leaving But we'll discuss that later on. But Southern Miss ain't no slouch, and they have a history of beating Alabama. They beat them when Brett Favre's senior year, and they beat them during the Mike DeBose years. So Southern Miss ain't a slouch like you think they are. They're not as big as a slouch as you think they are. And they beat Florida State in the early 80s. Reggie Collins at quarterback, beat them 51-14. So that if you look at these guys' history, that schedule ain't as soft as you think it is. Alabama still has been playing a tough schedule for the ages, so they should get the benefit of the doubt by playing a soft schedule because the SEC is tough. Yes, Alabama been running through the SEC. Undefeated, all that other good stuff. I get it. Yes, they ran through the SEC, but Alabama has had the number one recruiting class or been the top 3 recruiting class for the last 10 years. In order to be able to dominate a conference like the SEC, you have to be able to recruit and have a coach like Nick Saban. And there's times where Nick Saban makes fucked up decisions as a coach. But for every fucked up decision he made, he's won a championship on top of those fucked up decisions. So it is okay for every once in a while you play a soft regular season schedule. It's okay because they need it. And the athletic director for the Alabama Crimson Tide said it best. Everybody does not want to play Alabama year in and year out. And he said it best because guess what? One loss can kick you out of playoff contention easily because some of you motherfuckers in the pack, the WAC 10, WAC 12, the shit 10. I ain't gonna talk about the ACC because I call them the baby SEC. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. The ACC. I'm gonna spare the ACC because that is a tough conference. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. But the WAC 12, the shit 10, the shit 12, you motherfuckers don't be playing no goddamn body for the most part. Oklahoma, I give you the doubt. Texas, I'll give Texas the benefit of the doubt, especially trying to renew that Texas A&M rivalry. I'll give them. But all you other motherfuckers, y'all ain't shit. And Alabama Crimson Tide athletic director said it best. And not everybody want to get that.
And I agree. And you very seldomly hear this dude talk.
Yeah, you do. Everybody don't want to play Alabama early in the season because that L can make a difference in the season. He right. That L can make a difference. But if you get a win over Alabama early in the season, you didn't struck gold. You control your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So don't piss on Alabama because Notre Dame don't want to play them year in and year out. Penn State don't want to play them year in and year out. And they played them for 5 consecutive years in the 80s. Don't piss on them because the best of the teams that you ride every year in year out don't want to play them. If they want to play them, make that phone call. Nick Saban is very accessible, more accessible than you think, especially to other teams, to opposing teams, to parents who wants to take a look at Crimson Tide. He's more accessible than you think. This man practices all week, still goes out.
He's not a he's not, he made it known to conference. And I think he did address that in one of the press conferences too about people criticizing Alabama and their schedule. In his own classic Nick Saban way, he basically told ESPN, man, fuck y'all.
Exactly. And the SEC is tough enough. If Tennessee want to play a soft ass schedule, which Tennessee plays a big out of conference team every year, they have a right to. The SEC is tough enough because they got to play Florida second or third game of the season, no later than the 5th game of the season, 4th or 5th game of the season. They got to play Alabama on the 3rd week or the 2nd week in October. So that's 2 L's you looking at. Then you got to play Georgia sometime up in that schedule. So that could be 3 L's. You know what I'm saying? So SEC teams, they piss on SEC teams for playing soft schedules during the non.
With the exception of LSU, now LSU, they'll schedule tough people right off the jump when Les Miles was there.
play Ole Miss outside of a bowl game. It took a long time for you motherfuckers to hold on. Sorry about that. It took a long time for you motherfuckers to schedule Mississippi State. And when you scheduled against Mississippi State was at its weakest years under Jackie Sherrill. If you want to go play him when they had Joe Lee Dunn as the defensive coordinator, a lot of you people don't want to play LSU every year. You know, some of y'all muster up the nuts, but not all of you. You don't want to play Auburn year in and year out because that's an L for you. So what did you criticize?
Well, and here's something else too. And see, you know, when Mark Richt was at Georgia, right? Did you know that Mark Richt was part of the SEC scheduling committee? Mm-hmm. He was the head of it. Okay. When Texas A&M first got in the SEC, he didn't even want to put Texas A&M on the schedule.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, and then come to find out from a big shout out to him, former NWA WCW / WWF announcer Tony Schiavone, Georgia and Texas A&M don't play each other. I think he said till 2021 or 2022, and he even said they should have been playing them right off the jump.
Exactly.
So
exactly,
you know, but when you look at LSU, like okay, I ain't talking about now Ed Orgeron. He will schedule now. Even though you hate him, well, I'm not going to hate us too much for word. Even though you despise,
I hate that motherfucker. You're right. You 1,000% right. You got it right.
Okay,
I hate
hold on. He did take a blueprint from Les Miles by scheduling some tough ass people from the jump. First year he scheduled BYU, who was an independent. And then when Les Miles was there, Les Miles was scared putting Oregon on the schedule. Then he put Miami on. Then Orgeron put Miami on the schedule last season. And now turn around, Miami gonna renew their rivalry with Florida. So before people like ESPN now, like I said, now Fox, they don't say that. They basically just say, man, fuck what they say about the schedule. They Fox just care about, hey, reporting what it is. And even though we don't like Fox News, I still say Fox Sports 1, along with 2, has the best sports program in the network, bar none. They don't do a lot of dick ride on their programs. But you know, it's all about like the old saying, it ain't about what you know and who you know. It's about how you do it. So like if Alabama, okay, was anybody talking shit about let's take a trip back down memory lane, shall we? The 1994 Nebraska Cornhuskers. They had the number 1 schedule in it. They were the national champs. Well, yeah, they were. Well, no, they weren't the national champs because Florida State fucked it up the following season. They had the number 1 schedule in the nation. They had 5 teams that were in the top 5, and they beat them.
Yeah.
They beat them. Look it up. They beat them. And then the following year, when they repeated as champs, they beat the brakes off of Steve Spurrier.
Yep.
So, but man, ESPN need to lay the fuck up off of Alabama, man. Shit.
I agree. I'm in total agreement with what you're saying in that department. And here's the thing: LSU. Look at their schedule, because I'm actually looking it up on Wikipedia. But their schedule starts off with Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern last year went 10-3 in the Sun Belt Conference, and Georgia Southern will surprise you. They have a history of winning championships in Division I AA, but Georgia Southern ain't no slouch. They could easily upset LSU. And I know from what I understand, they paid them like $10 million to come play them. You know what I'm saying? So the athletic department is pocketing the money and stuff like that, which I don't blame them. They're well deserving. They're well deserving of that in that department. But Georgia Southern, you know what I'm saying, who has a history of upsetting teams, especially a lot of teams in the Sun Belt Conference, has a history of upsetting teams. Arkansas State, Appalachian State, Troy, those guys. They have a history of upsetting people. But you're talking about a 10-3 team up in the Sun Belt Conference. So with that being said, that could be room for an upset right there because they recruit some pretty good players at Georgia Southern. That's not a slouch ass team to play against. You know what I'm saying? So
Hell
that
no.
you know, they might blow them out. LSU might blow them out, but don't be shocked of an upset either against that team because they do win whatever conference they play in. And previously, before they went to the Sun Belt, they were in one of the toughest conference in Division I AA, which is the Southern Conference. You know what I'm saying? Playing against guys like Wofford, the Citadel, Appalachian State before they moved over to Division 1A, UT Chapman with Furman and all those guys. And that's a tough conference over there, Division 1 AA. But my point is, Georgia Southern ain't no slouch. And you know who the next team they play? They play Texas.
Who?
LSU. They play
Yeah, I remember that Ogeron. Well, during one of your little Ogeron rants, I did say, I kept telling you, I said, Ogeron, he did put Texas on the schedule now.
Yeah.
He got Texas on the schedule.
I understand.
Because and he said the way he scheduled, he did that. And he said he scheduled that. He said the reason being why he put Georgia Southern on there first is to see how well the team will adjust to a team like Texas. And I'll say this. It's been a minute since LSU played Texas, to my understanding. But I hope Ed Ogeron beat the shit out of Tom Herman. You know, and ever since Tom Herman took that Texas job, dog, he has become more fuckboyish and arrogant now. But when he was at Houston, he wasn't like that. First year, one of the stuff I was in, what stuff Corey Wolf was saying, he said he wasn't like that. But ever since he got that Texas job, he been, Herman been smelling his shit too much.
Exactly. And like I say, Georgia Southern, that could be room for an upset with that Georgia Southern game. That's a tricky game. That is a tricky game for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And the Sun Belt has been a better conference than what people realize with Arkansas State and with Appalachian State and those guys. That's a tougher conference than what people, that's a mid-major conference. But that LSU, if they piss the wrong way, they might fuck around and get an upset. And then he got to play Texas the next game. And you talking about the SEC schedule weak opponents? Get the fuck out of here, y'all. Get all the way the fuck out of here. Now let me look at Ole Miss schedule. I'm gonna look up Ole Miss's football schedule because I can just they play Memphis. Memphis is a tricky game.
Yeah,
that's a tricky game.
Oh, that's the first game.
Yep.
Damn.
At Memphis, because
you're winning from Memphis.
Yeah, they could beat Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss has had a good recruiting class. I think that's a W for them. They play
Mike Norvell. I hope, man. But that's another topic, another time about Mike Norvell. I hope he changed his coaching ways, because
and then they play Southern Louisiana. They should beat them. Arkansas, Southern Louisiana, and they play the University of California at Ole Miss. Wow. So let's go to Mississippi State schedule. Yeah, and California, that's a hit or miss. That's a
California's
hit or miss game,
no pushover.
Yeah, I agree, and neither is Memphis when they playing up to expectation. Mississippi State. I'm going to Mississippi State football schedule. They put Ole Miss ass up there again. Ole Miss, Mississippi State play Kansas State. They play Lafayette. I give them a W for Lafayette. Kansas State, that's a tricky game. Southern Miss.
Yeah, for a first-year coach.
They play in Southern Miss. That's a tricky game. They could fuck around and get upset against Southern Miss. So these schedules. Let me go to Tennessee's schedule. I'm gonna go to. Hopefully they let me click on Tennessee's schedule so I can just because I'm going through the SEC with them talking about the SEC. And like I said, I'm not a fan of every SEC team, but I respect the SEC, because they will try to schedule some good opponents. But the thing is, don't criticize them, and again, Tennessee plays Georgia State. That should be a win.
Yeah.
They play BYU at Tennessee. That's a tricky game. And they play UT Chattanooga.
They
But
got
even
BYU the second game.
they got BYU the second game.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
a win for BYU, dog.
That's a tricky game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a tricky game. It's a tricky. They played the UT Chat. They should beat them easily. And then the following game with Florida, they play Florida the following game. Then they play Georgia. Then they play Mississippi State. So they're at home the first 5 of the first six games.
Mhm.
They're at home, and they play Florida in Florida at the Swamp, which they don't do too well in the Swamp. But hey, it is what it is when it comes to that. I'm gonna go to Georgia's schedule.
One thing I can give to Kirby Smart though, he can cruise his ass off on schedule. So I still think Georgia can will win the national title somewhere down the line.
I agree too. I agree with that. Hold on, Georgia. After Georgia football schedule. Vanderbilt the first game.
Damn. Ooh.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's
You remember Vanderbilt would always play South Carolina first game?
That's dangerous for Georgia to play an SEC team the first game. That's dangerous. And Vanderbilt, for those who know about football, Vanderbilt is more dangerous than you think they are. I'm gonna tell you that now. They could easily, because they dangerous. That's a dangerous game for Georgia.
Yeah.
Murray State.
Well, I missed the James Franklin Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but they still, like Vanderbilt, they still an SEC team, even though you have to get a grade point average. They're still an SEC team. But here's Georgia's schedule. Since people want to talk about SEC teams play weak schedules, here's Georgia's schedule. A tricky ass Arkansas State team.
Ooh.
I say tricky. Arkansas State. They play Arkansas State at home. You know, they should win that game, but they recruit well too. Arkansas State competes in the Sun Belt, just like Georgia Southern. I give Georgia that win, but that could be dangerous. And guess who they play after that? Notre Dame.
Yeah, I did confirm. Man, yeah, because we was in the middle of a rant. You was in the middle of a rant, and I did confirm that. Because Notre Dame, because Notre Dame comes to Athens for the first time.
They come to Athens for the first time. Yeah, I probably was in the middle of a rant, but they play Arkansas State, who's not a pushover, contrary to the mid-major conference they're in. They play Notre Dame and they play Georgia Tech at the end of the year, which Georgia Tech ain't a pushover. They playing 3 teams that could easily win. I mean, Notre Dame don't have a conference, but they playing at least 2 teams that have a shot at winning their conference.
Yep.
And people talk about weak schedule. Let's go to Auburn. But even if an SEC team schedule a weak opponent, I'm not criticizing them for that because SEC is tough enough and people recruit well. Woo-wee! Ouch! Woo-wee!
What's that?
Auburn plays Oregon.
That's the first. Yep, first game. Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh-wee. And then they play a pretty, you could argue that's a weak non-conference schedule, but you don't want to stack up the damn conference with non-conference schedule with teams that could possibly beat you and you play in the SEC because they play, LSU is normally the first SEC game, but it's not this year. That's a shocker because they play them in the end of October. But their first SEC game is A&M, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, and LSU. Yeah, but they playing Oregon out the gate. Oh, that's dangerous for them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dangerous for them. Oh, I wonder where Can somebody find me where somebody's playing a weak schedule? Let me see about Vanderbilt because I know Vanderbilt gonna play somebody tough.
You know Vanderbilt ain't gonna play no weak schedule.
They play Purdue. Shit. They
Yep.
play UNLV. That should be a W.
Well, Purdue, man, they lost my respect after Auburn whooped their ass before the game was over. 56-7 at halftime.
Yeah. Oh man. These schedules, from what I'm looking at, because they were criticizing how the SEC schedule. These are not weak schedules, guys. These are far from weak. Kentucky. These schedules ain't weak, and you've already confirmed A&M plays. Confirmed they play. Who they play? Clemson.
Yep.
Now this is probably the weakest of them all because let's see. This is probably Kentucky probably plays the weakest of them all. Well, they play Louisville at the end of the year, so that could be hit or miss. So they're about the. I'll just say they have the weakest of them all that I've looked up on here. But and I wouldn't knock Kentucky if they did play a weak schedule because again they have a right to schedule whoever the fuck they want to schedule, being that you play in the SEC. Just like in basketball, South Carolina plays North Carolina. That's a hit or miss game.
Yeah,
that's hit or well. And then they play Clemson at the end of the year. They play Appalachian State. That's a tricky game. And when I say tricky game, these are non-conference games that could go either, that could easily lead to an L because of the toughness of that particular non-conference team. Or the history of that non-conference team, which Appalachian State, of course, beat Michigan at Michigan one year. When they were
when they went, and then then ESPN basically was starting shit that year by talking about they need Lloyd Carr fired after that shit.
Yeah, but Appalachian State team that beat them, they were damn good. They were pretty good. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like they were a damn good team. That wasn't a slouch ass team because they were just coming off a Division I AA championship, and it was one of those games that Lloyd Carr ran into a train wreck. So, I'm saying this now. Even though I say these are tricky games, these games could flip around and turn into an upset because these teams don't think because you're playing against non-conference scheduled team, you pay them $5 million, $10 million to come to get their ass whooped at your house. Don't think because you playing against them, you paying them that kind of money that they don't come to win. Every team comes to win. So don't sleep on these non-conference teams, especially out of the Sun Belt Conference. The Sun Belt is better than what y'all think it is. Fuck what you're talking about because Arkansas State, Georgia's Southern, and Appalachian State, you could easily those games could easily turn into an L, a huge L at that. So don't think you finna go out there and just beat them easily. That ain't how it works. So but my point is, and I'm gonna look at one more schedule and then I'm gonna get to another topic. But just because these guys, like I say, just because you playing these non-conference teams, these non-conference teams are better than what y'all think it is. These mid-major teams are better than what you think it is. And of course, they got Miami on the first game of the season, as you confirmed. So nobody in the SEC is playing a weak ass schedule. Nobody's playing a weak schedule. These schedules, because those teams, they could lose to them just as fast as they schedule them. So again, Alabama has the right to schedule whoever the fuck they want to schedule because they play, they do what they need to do. They recruit what they need to do. So every once in a while, I'm gonna play a so-called schedule, even though Duke ain't as a slouch as you think they is. They could damn near lose to them. Lost to them in probably damn near probably a century or something. So miss me with the SEC team schedule week schedule. These schedules is not as weak as y'all think it is. Don't think because they've got Georgia Southern and Appalachian State, because geography makes a difference as well. Because you could easily go to North Carolina and talk to the athletic director and be like, hey, we'll pay you $5 million, $10 million to come to our house. We'll have the best hotels for you. We'll make sure you have a on-site chef. You ain't finna turn that down. As a mid-major conference team who can't schedule against anybody else, you're not finna turn that down. You're just not finna do it.
Oh no.
So, because like when mid-major teams play against Alabama, they get the best treatment. Real talk. So it's a lot of things that goes with it. So yeah, man, cut the bullshit with the SEC playing a weak schedule. Just cut the bullshit because they're not playing weak as you think they are. Because if that's the case, why don't y'all play against Georgia Southern? Why don't some of you Big Ten team play against Georgia Southern? Why don't you University of California? Yeah, it's a hell of a playing flight, but why don't y'all play against them? See, won't you have another Appalachian State upset? Another Troy State upset. Why don't y'all play against them? I want y'all to play against them. So it is what it is when it comes to the SEC in Alabama. Stop hating on Alabama because Alabama has earned everything that they supposed to do, supposed to get. They've earned their respect. They earned their reputation. Nick Saban has built the foundation to where you shouldn't criticize him for shit. If he scratches his ass the wrong way, let him scratch his ass, man. As long as he washes his hands afterwards, let him scratch his ass. Goddamn. So anyway, with that being said, stop hating on Alabama. This is coming from a person who is not an Alabama fan. Yes, I root for them during the national championship, but I'm not a fan of theirs. If it came down to Tennessee in Memphis, I would root for Memphis and Tennessee. That'd be hands down. But this is not coming from an Alabama fan. This is not coming from an Alabama fan. So respect those motherfuckers. Let them do what the fuck they want to. They earned it. They deserve it. And that's the end of discussion, man. Anything you want to have before I go to the next topic?
No.
Okay. In movie news, I had the opportunity to go see the new Child's Play movie with Mark Hamill. The movie budget was pretty much the same budget, $10 million. They put $10 million on the original one. But it's a success in terms of budget, terms of gross. As of right now, according to Box Office Mojo, let me look at Box Office Mojo because the last number I got was $21 million. And they said it was below expectation in terms of revenue, which my showing was damn near sold out. I had the only seat that I probably had the only available seat in my section damn near. Let me go to Box Office Mojo. So I'm looking this up as we speak. Child's Play. Going to search engine. Okay. Yeah. But I like the movie. I will say this. I did like the. So right now, yeah, it's still sitting at 21 million. And most of that they haven't counted the box office revenue in according to Box Office Mojo, they have not counted the outside revenue, the foreign revenue. So it's not reported. So it could be more in terms of foreign revenue. But they haven't tallied up the foreign revenue according to what I'm looking at now. They've only tallied up the revenue from the United States. But it was a good movie. It was a good movie. I give Mark Hamill his credit. It was some major differences between the original and the old school one. Because I was waiting on it to be a train wreck, and it wasn't a train wreck at all. Of course, it was some differences. One of the key changes was in this Child's Play, Andy had more of a relationship with Chucky than the original Child Play. Because in the original Child's Play, his babysitter Maggie got killed pretty much within the first 20 minutes of the movie. And of course, it was filmed in Chicago, just like this movie was filmed in Chicago, in the same building. filmed in the same building, but a little difference, you know, a little more built up than what it was at that particular time. The difference between the two is the killing got in the beginning of the first one, the killing got started early. In this movie, the killing got started toward the latter part of the movie. But one thing about the killing, and I criticized the movie Ma for having killing at the end, but the difference between the two is you thought the killing in the Ma movie was going to happen a little bit earlier, whereas this movie you anticipated that somebody going to die. You know, another difference is the woman had a boyfriend in this movie. In the original one, you know, the boyfriend was non-existent. But you knew his ass was going to get killed at some point. Out of all the people, and I'm giving somewhat of a spoiler, but not quite a spoiler. You knew his ass was gonna die. You just can feel it in the air. You can feel this motherfucker finna die. You know it. It's just, man, when Chucky kills him, it's gonna be a terrible death. Chucky kills him. When he gets, you just know in your spirit. Everybody in the movie theater, you can just feel the people in the movie theater with all. I say it was probably 300 people in the auditorium, damn near. But damn near 300 people in this auditorium, near sold out auditorium, you just felt it in the air like this dude's finna die. We just know it. He just know this dude's finna die. You know.
Yeah.
And another difference is the Mike Norris character played by Chris Sarandon, who of course is Susan Sarandon's first husband. Chris Sarandon, the difference between this Mike Norris and that Mike Norris is the Mike Norris is obviously this Mike Norris was black, and they lived diagonally across from one another in the same building as the original movie. You know what I'm saying? Again, that you know the build it's the same building, but it was renovated. It's the exact same building. It was just a renovated version of the building. If you watch the movie, you know where it's set in Chicago personally, because you lived in Chicago many years ago.
Yeah.
So it's renovated version of the movie if you watch the movie very closely. The Mike Norris character is black this time. And in the original one, the guy was white. You know what I'm saying? So he had more of a camaraderie with the kid. He had more of a camaraderie with the kid than the original Mike Norris, who was more like there to protect the family, but there wasn't a relationship between him and Andy like it was in this movie as it was in the original one. There was some difference between the two. And then Mike Norris in the movie actually had a child, whereas you didn't know whether or not he had a child or even a family, you know, because he had a mom. His mom was living in the same building. Mike Norris and his mom was living in the same building. His son was living in the same building, but not quite the same complex. So there was some difference between the two. Andy had friends. In the first two Child Play, he didn't have friends. The third one, he went to military school and he had friends. So I like how the screenwriters and directors, you know, I like how they did that movie. They, you know, it was some difference between the two. Between the two. And this Chucky actually was a robot, as opposed to a half human, half doll in the
possessed doll.
Yeah, it's a possessed doll. Yeah, so that, you know, which the robot actually worked because it's less cost efficient for him to be a straight up robot, and that's what made them build a relationship because, you know, the buddy doll was a cool doll to have. So, and a few things I didn't like in this movie, but it didn't take away how good the movie was. One thing I did not like in particular was they made the kid a little bit too old.
Right.
Because he was basically a teenager. The kid was a teenager. You know, I would have liked to him be like at least 10 years old to make it realistic. You know, because a 13-year-old damn kid having a goddamn doll, that's a little too goddamn big to be having a goddamn doll.
A little weird.
Yeah, whereas the Alex Vincent character in you know this as a fact. It took 2 years to do the Child's Play movie because Brad Dourif had previous obligations with Mississippi Burning, and sometimes guys are filming up to 10 movies in 1 year. Just he had previously obligations. So when the original Andy character came into the was in the movie, he was 4 years old when the initial filming, and when the filming ended in sometime in spring of '88, he was 6 years old. He grew up to 6 years old, and they did some reenactment scenes and stuff like that. So it took a minute to complete the film, which why it came out in '88, because it was supposed to come out like in '87, and Brad Dourif just had that scheduling thing to where they couldn't use a 4-year-old at the time, so they had to reenact the beginning of the movie. But you'll notice he's a baby basically. He's a baby during the first 30-40 minutes of the movie and stuff like that. So because most of the time when they film a movie, they get the ending of the movie out the way first, and then they film the beginning of the movie. So that's how they do it in most movies. Sometimes they'll film the ending at the end of the movie film, and sometimes they won't. But in most cases, they'll film the beginning of the movie and the end of filming. You know what I'm saying? Just for people to educate themselves on how filming works. Because really, the beginning is harder to film than the ending. Because if you know how the ending gonna go, you're gonna get that out the way first. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Chucky character built more of a relationship this time, whereas in the original movie, Andy didn't have time to build a relationship because hell, he killed Maggie, and then he killed one of his accomplices in the movie. So, and when he killed the accomplice, that's when the boy got taken into custody. So it wasn't time to really build a relationship with the dog. It like, shit, this dog crazy as shit. Get out of here, goddamn doctor, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was more killing in the original than this one. But the killing was fucking brutal. When Mark Hamill, who played the voice of Chucky, and I love Mark Hamill, and I love Mark Hamill because his career actually started out as a voice actor, but I'll get to that later. When Mark Hamill finally did kill some motherfuckers, it was intense. Like he fucked some folks up, man. That movie. It was like he was brutal. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, Mark Hamill wasn't playing with them hoes. He was like fuck this. He was more sentimental than Brad Dourif, because Brad Dourif was like, bitch, you bitch, you finna die, bitch. You bitch. He like, but Mark Hamill, he was sentimental with the kid. That's what made the movie interesting, because he built a relationship with the kid. But man, it was one scene in that movie. He was like, if I can't be your friend, nobody can. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker just went sadistic all of a sudden.
If I can't be your friend, nobody can.
It was like that's the part I remember the most in the movie. If I can't be your friend, nobody can. It's like, damn, Mark Hamill. We're like, shit, you just like the killing scenes was brutal. When I say it was brutal, it came at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't require a whole lot of slashing and dashing like the typical Child Plays movie. But if Brad Dourif never played Chucky, I would put Mark Hamill right as the doll, because it was a role meant for him. Because either you got to outplay that role, or you got to play it just right so the audience can be like, shit, I fucks with him playing this doll. You know what I'm saying? I think they should go to another reboot. You know what I'm saying? A second version of the movie. Another Child's Play come out. I think they should do another reboot and stuff like that. So Mark Hamill did a great job. The mother of Child's Play, they had a Puerto Rican woman, basically a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Mixed black woman playing the mother, and notice she mixed. Just like you did with the Jasmine girl from Aladdin. She a mixed chick, and I'm saying for a second in the movie theater. Speaking of this, like, damn, what? I'm like, did they have any? Because like Catherine Hicks, who was the original mom, she was Lily White girl, Lily White boy, okay, Lily White boy in this one as well. But I'm like, damn, they must have couldn't find nobody. I'm like, where this nigga daddy at, or something like that, like to make this stick. I'm like, damn, where's his white daddy daddy or something. I'm saying this in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking what's the lady's name? What's her name? What's that girl's name? Because I had it right up here on the screen. I'm not knocking Aubrey Plaza because she's actually married to a white guy. He's a director in Hollywood. I'm not knocking her. She's a pretty good actress in her own right. But I'm saying to myself, I'm like, damn, where's the white daddy to make this shit add up? I'm saying this to myself in the back of the movie theater. Like, what makes this shit make sense? Shit. Please don't let this kid come out with an African daddy. You motherfucker. Like, please don't do this. Like, because I was befuddled. But other than that, she did a good job as a mother. You know what I'm saying? Because there was more of a relationship between the mother and Andy. So they wrote the script right with that. You know what I'm saying? So I think Aubrey did a good job. The Mike Norris character did a good job in the movie. He did a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? In terms of being Mike Norris and stuff like that. But I mean, the movie overall is I give it 2 thumbs up, hands down. I give it 2 thumbs up. Very interesting movie. I would have liked the pace to speed up, but I could accept the pace being slow because you just knew what was going to happen, and it was a good thing that you knew what was going to happen because that's what made the movie more exciting, in my personal opinion. Some people may be like, this could have been better. It's some things that could have been better, but I was just befuddled at that particular situation that I was befuddled with the kid being a little bit older than what he should have been. You know what I'm saying? So I like if he had been 10, it would have made sense. But that was one of those things that was like, damn, why the kid so goddamn big for a goddamn doll? But they made it when they balanced it out with him hooking up the buddy doll into the phone, and then him being the robot that it was. Now that's what made it cool. But I would have liked for the kid to be a little bit smaller, so it could make more sense than it did doing this big ass kid and stuff like that. And she was like, well, and then the doll, the difference between this doll and that doll was she basically stole the doll out of the factory, and she actually was working at the Buddy factory. That was now in the original movie, she went to basically a panhandler. She bought the doll from a panhandler through Maggie, where she basically blackmailed the guy in the Buddy store to give him the doll. So that was some difference to the movie and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna spoil the movie too much more, but it was some difference. If you go see the movie, it's some noticeable difference between the original. And I made sure I watched the original a couple of times so I could just anticipate the possible train wreck, which it wasn't a train wreck in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, if he fucks this up, if these writers fuck this shit up, we gonna cuss their ass out for the rest of their life about this motherfucker. But it turned out to be good. I mean, Aubrey did her part, the kid did his part, Mike Norris did his part. You know what I'm saying? It was a good overall storytelling with the movie. I have no problem with the movie. I just wished Brad Dourif had made a special appearance in the movie because he did build the foundation of the Chucky doll. Whereas with Robert Englund, speaking of Robert Englund, because they do have something in common with this, but Robert Englund had say-so in the last Freddy Krueger guy. He was the guy who actually cast. So, but with him not being on the movie, it wasn't as bad because he knew the right person to play that role. He knew like, hey, this guy is obviously going to be a good guy. He's taller than I am because Robert Englund and Brad Dourif are the same size. So, but he was like, hey, cast this guy. It's the right guy for it. He's taller than me, and it makes more sense to put a taller Freddy Krueger in there, which makes him more intimidating and more scary. Even though people criticize the last Freddy Krueger movie, it made money, and hey, money says a lot about criticism. You know what I'm saying? But I would have liked Brad Dourif to make a special appearance and have that, just give it that extra oomph. But they didn't have anything to do with either of the original writer. What's that guy's name? I don't like to fuck people's name up. I'm just going to looking this up real quick. This is an Italian guy. I want to say, what's his name? Don Mancini. That's his name. Don Mancini. Don Mancini. Don Mancini, who's the original writer of the Chucky doll. Very good writer. You know what I'm saying? But I think the only reason why I could see them not having Don Mancini associated with the movie is probably because he crowbarred that LGBT thing in the Seed of Chucky. If you watch that movie, if you ever seen that before, the Seed of Chucky.
Yeah, and I wasn't, man, I ain't like that one.
Yeah, it was good, but when he made the doll gender neutral, which Don Mancini is a gay guy in real life. He does have a partner, which that's not to take away from his intellectual talents, because he's a damn good writer. I mean, he's a hell of a writer, but he shouldn't have crowbarred that LGBT thing in there. He shouldn't have did. And this is not talking bad about that, but some things just don't work. That's the type of shit that just don't work. Let the kid be the kid. Let him have a sex, and that was the downside of that movie. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he's a hell of a writer. I mean, because he said the doll came from a couple of different things, but the main character, he got the Chucky doll from the Talking Tina character from the Twilight Zone. And he was like, hey, what if I make a Cabbage Patch doll out of an actual murderous doll? So because that's basically what Chucky is, a Cabbage Patch doll, basically. You know what I'm saying? But they added their stank on it. So that's what made it work. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would have been good for him to have some type of say-so, but not too much say-so. And I think the movie studios who had more of the rights to the movie, because he gets paid off the residuals because he's the original writer.
Yeah.
But, they wanted it to make a little bit more sense. So they was like, okay, we're going to leave him out of it. We're going to leave Brad Dourif out of it, which I think was a mistake. So you should have had somebody that was in the original plot to,
he should at least made a cameo.
Yeah, that's my only thing about that. So it should have been at least a cameo. But the only thing, I think that was the reason why they probably didn't have him in the film or associated with the film, was that crowbarring of the LGBT thing in the Seed of Chucky, which rubbed some people the wrong way, controversially, and rightfully so, because let the kid be a girl or a boy. Just make it decisive. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, some people are good at directing movies, but they're not good at writing movies. Some people good at writing movies, they're not good at directing movies, and that was his downfall. He went into the director's chair. I'm like, dude, stick to writing. You're a good writer. The idea of Chucky, it makes sense. He's made a lot of money off it, just like Brad Dourif had been. But hey, stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? Stick to the script. Stick to what works. And being the writer, it works because you're gonna get the same residuals regardless of. They still got to pay you 10-20% of the residuals because you created the damn character. It's just the people that's gonna make most of the money is the people who have the distribution rights of the film. So they're gonna make most of the money. Then he's gonna get his 20% cut, and that 20% goes a long way. Because when it goes on film, goes on YouTube, hey, even when somebody steal the content, they're gonna flag that motherfucker like, hey, this is the rights of United Artists. You're not in trouble. Sometimes YouTube will do some shit like that. You're not in trouble, but you're gonna have to drop off that money to United Artists, and you know what I'm saying? Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it, or we gonna shut down your account. You know what I'm saying? But your account ain't in trouble, which is why some old school movies are still up, even though somebody else may put it up in fair usage or something like that. But they'll let them know, hey, bam, this is his movie. The residuals gonna go to him. Whatever views you got, bam, that's their views, that's their money, bam. And YouTube cut them a check. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? They cut them a check back. So, but I love Child's Play, the new Child's Play movie. I suggest people go see it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen it, go see it. Just for the excitement and stuff like that. And shout out to Marcus Johnson. He said Appalachian State won 3 consecutive national titles when they beat Michigan. Absolutely correct. And played in the same conference as Georgia Southern as well, who has like 7 or 8 national titles in the Division One AA. Well, so, but yeah, go see Chucky. You know what I'm saying? If Aladdin is still out, so I definitely recommend people go see Aladdin as well, and that's made over $800 million at the box office. So shout out to Will Smith and shout out to Disney as well on that. But
Lion
definitely
King, dog.
say what now?
I'm ready to see Lion King.
Now, what do you think about the new Sonic movie? I wanted to get your take on that. And now it's supposed to come out next year. It was supposed to come out in November, but from what I understand, they pushed the date back. I think they're gonna redo some scenes in that movie to make sure it gets the full potential of the max potential. I saw this the hallway of the movie theater. What do you think about the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Let's move right along.
Say that one more time.
Let's move right along.
Now, one thing I like they did is Jim Carrey being Dr. Robotnik. That's the right call.
That was the right call.
But everything else, how they made Sonic without tails, I'm like,
Yeah, when they go back, that's why I'm saying let's move right along.
I hope they go back right in there and put Tails in there at some point, man. Because if they don't put him in there, that's gonna make the movie suck. But I'm gonna see it because I like Jim Carrey. I'm just gonna watch it because I like Jim Carrey. That's the only reason why I'm gonna see it. It's gonna be a train wreck, and yes, the train wreck is gonna happen. Yes, I'm predicting it now. It's gonna be a train wreck. It might generate some good money, but the criticism for that movie from viewers is going to get criticized from both ends, because sometimes when a movie gets criticized, it usually get criticized by the critics, but the people that watch it, it's going to do bad in terms of critic ratings. So yeah, it is what it is when it comes to that, man. So shout out to Jim Carrey, man. I'll say that. You know, he knows how to get his money, regardless of what. Regardless of him being in his prime or out of his prime, he's still been able to play in some key movies here and there. So
yeah, oh hell yeah.
So any other topics you want to discuss? Because this is pretty much a freestyle today,
man. Man, I ain't got nothing else, man. Just well, I got one on mine, and then I'm gonna let it go. I'm just kind of I've lately, and I haven't been tired. I don't know if I talked about this on Let's Draw on Something, which will return now that I have me a laptop. But the return date on that is TBD, to be determined. Man, I lately, man, been kind of looking at, people who I went to school with and stuff like that, and look at how some of their kids turn out to be. Damn. And some of them are good, but all these ones out here that's out in the damn street and call themselves be thugging around and stuff like that. I gotta ask the parents, where did they go wrong with some of them? Because this is like, just general though, but just today's kids today, man, whether they're teenagers and getting in almost approaching and well out of their 20s and shit like that. It's like they don't have not a care in the world about nobody.
I agree with that.
I mean, like I got I ain't trying to put him on the spot. I got a neighbor that's a couple doors down. He's 20. He'll be 20. He'll be 5 and stuff like that. Don't want to put his business on the street, but because I have ears. And matter of fact, that it's one of my friends' son. Okay, and don't mean put his beds out there. He get clothes on his house and stuff like that. But and dude had he had a whole lot of potential as a football player, because he wanted to play. I think he wanted to play cornerback. But but due to say, but he chose not. He chose and really don't know about what happened. But I think because my friend had told me she had told me he quit football, because all the shit that's been going on with like with CT and stuff like that, which I can understand if that is the case. But
Yeah.
working sporadic and stuff like that, and you see him now, man, because dude was basically, he was fucking built. Now the man, out of shape, and he smoked a lot of weed, stuff like that, but I don't like parents, man. Now, I'm sorry for jumping all over the place, but I don't like parents to brag about how you raised your kids and what you taught them about this and that. I mean, I've gone on record on your show. We both went on record and talked about how we were raised and stuff like that, but never have my moms ever went around and bragged to somebody about it.
Yeah, and like I say, I have a brother that makes pretty good money as an aviation mechanic at FedEx, but I don't go around bragging about that shit. Hey.
Yeah,
like I say,
yeah. I'm talking about John.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have every reason to brag, but I choose not to because one, I don't want to make the block hot for him. It is what it is when it comes to him. Like I say, if you close to him, if you need anything, he's one of those people that's just generous enough to be like, even including myself, even though we're just becoming brothers and brothers again. So we don't have relationship in the world, but if I need something, he like, shit, he'll shoot it to me and shoot me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, take this, but you shouldn't brag about your kids too much. You have a right to a certain degree, but when it just gets too boisterous, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and continue, brother.
Yeah, but on that note, man, look, parents don't brag about your kids about what they accomplished this and about that. That gives you a bad look. Okay. Let their accomplishments, let your child or children's accomplishments speak for themselves. Granted, hey, I'm 40 years old, and I'll admit I'm not a parent, but as far as what I need to do, there've been a lot of things I should have done. Like, yeah, true enough, I did have a house, but I told you the whole story on that on Craig Comes Clean about last year. On that one, about in regards to what happened with that. And sometimes you really wish that all things, really did wish my parents had taught me how to manage money better. I'm trying to learn for myself, but look, when fall in it, when people fall in this same little pattern of you got more, you got to blow it all, and then you got to come up to folks' face about this and about that. Look, we as adults, whether you're an adult parent or an adult child or both, vice versa, we got to get better managing money. And that's real tough. I mean, and we got to get better managing money. So I got two rants I just want to get out. One, parents, don't brag about your child's accomplishments, and let alone don't hate on your child's accomplishments. Let their accomplishments speak for themselves. And all you have to do is you have to be proud of them. And if you don't like it, that's tough shit. I've stayed with my pops at times, God rest his soul. He was jealous of some accomplishments that I made.
Just like
it was mad as yeah, he was mad as fuck about the shit. And I'm like, bro, you jealous of your own son. Really?
And that can happen. Not, that can happen. They can capture not only the father, but the mother as well. So, just like the kid that played for the New York Giants, the Collins kid that played for the Giants, his mother just straight hate on this dude, man. He didn't basically financially supported the family and everything, but she just be on some real hater ass shit to embarrass him on National Signing Day. And that's just, that woman needs psychological help.
Yeah, she did go out. I think Landon, he said he ain't supporting. He not the money. I think Landon said he's not going to support him anymore.
Yeah, because he did buy her house.
Look around, they need something. They need something. Look, and by the way, look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan said his brother came to him one time, asked for $25,000, and didn't see him since then.
Yep.
This Hulk Hogan was making money. When he was about to start making money.
Yeah, he was in the prime of his WWE and even acting career, because all that came at the same time, because he was playing in the movie No Holds Bars and
this is like after he played the role of Thunder Lips. He said that's when his brother came to him. And when he got that check, his brother came to him to ask him for $25,000 and didn't see his ass since.
You talking about Ben Hogan, the one that actually wrestled, right? Or it was another brother that he had?
It was another one.
You ain't talking about Ben. You ain't talking about the.
No,
I think Ben is the Ben. Say what now?
It was the I think he said it was the middle one, because he won. Hogan is one of three brothers.
Okay, so yeah, Ben is the baby. Okay, so it wasn't him. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yep. But man, I think can Landon is stopped though, bro, because supporting them. But anyway, on that given fact, man, hey, y'all need to stop. And then you make yourself, and parents, you make yourself look bad when you do that. When you constantly brag about your child and what they do with this and that, and when you jealous of your child because, hey, he did something you couldn't do, and if not that in his 20s, finally in his 30s, graduate college, or he got a better job, he make more money than you because he know how to manage his money better than you. I've gone on record and said one time my pops got pissed off with me because I was managing my money, how I was spending my money. But what gives you right to, this is anybody, what gives you the right to get mad at somebody about their money?
Exactly.
They're not spending it on you. So parents, you need to break out that mentality.
Exactly.
Two things and then it's a lot of my mom. Now we do have two things we discuss about anything else, but don't discuss my pockets.
Exactly.
That's a direct violation of me. Don't I don't discuss what I make with anybody.
There you go.
And you want to know how? And the best way if I'm making money is if I'm paying my bills, take care of my business, or if I want to splurge a little bit, because I know, because like right now I gotta go. I gotta make a walk up here to Lowe's and find me a toner for the job I do.
Yeah.
I gotta price me a toner. I don't, and that's always been a rule of thumb. And I've tell people that, whether it's parents and especially at your job, and especially at our former place of play. And speaking of which, let me break off the subject.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me stop right there. Put that in pause for a minute. You heard that FedEx had lost over $2 billion in revenue, right?
Woo.
FedEx.
That's unheard of.
Look it up.
That's unheard of.
Look it up. Look it up, bro. You said it was gonna happen.
I'll get.
Yeah, because when you check it out, but yeah, they lost over $202 billion in revenue, man. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So something has been rotting in the water on that end there, bro. Yeah.
As soon as I type that hoe up, it's coming up. Amazon is going to deliver flow to FedEx, which lost. Thank you. My God, I've been telling people what was going to happen. So, and I'm telling you this right now, Amazon is very close to buying them hoes out. Very close to buying them out. They get bought out.
Yep. And FedEx employees finna become Amazon employees.
Yeah, and like I said,
so get ready.
Old boy is a Texan. He grew up basically in Texas and spent the last 3 years in high school in Miami. And one thing about us in Texas, when we want something, we take over it. So don't sit up there and don't sleep on that, man. Do not sleep on Jeff Bezos. Is not the richest man in the world. Surpassed. He frog leaped over fucking Bill Gates and he frog leaped over Bill Gates and damn near. If you add Warren Buffett's money to combine, he damn near makes more than both of them combined. Damn near. But he hasn't became the world's richest man for nothing. And by the way, he lives in the same neighborhood as Bill Gates, by the way, which that neighborhood is the highest grossing, have the most billionaires per capita in the world. You know what I'm saying? That neighborhood alone with that 400 people, those 400 people that lives in that neighborhood are the highest grossing billionaires per capita in the world. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I told y'all that was gonna happen. I told y'all this is gonna be the beginning of the end. It's gonna be a death blow. It's going to be a death blow. And Amazon, from what I'm reading right now, and I'm just looking at the links. I didn't go onto the links just yet, but what I'm reading right now, FedEx is going to get taken over, and Fred Smith better recognize. I'm telling you that. Yep.
I feel like the current FedEx employees at that Memphis World Hub, they better, you know what? They better get ready. That's all I gotta say.
Because I think Jeff Bezos is smart enough to know he's not gonna get rid of the FedEx employees. I'm gonna tell you that now.
No, he ain't. They just gonna transition over to Amazon. All ramp agents. Now, granted, I do think they need to get rid of some managers.
Yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do. He gonna clean house, but he gonna keep it to where FedEx, because the Memphis economy is important to FedEx, so he's gonna utilize the Memphis economy to his advantage and stuff like that. But I do think he's gonna clean house in the corporation and upper management and stuff like that. He's gonna clean house before it's all said and done once he take over. But I give it 10. Again, I'm giving it 10 years, but it could happen sooner than you think it will. Losing that $2 billion to Amazon, that, when it gets up to 10 and 20 billion, that's going to be, I'm going to tell you this, I'm saying this on live. I said this at the end of the year last year. Go back to the show at the end of the year last year when I was in Atlanta, did my Atlanta show. And I'm telling you now, when it gets up to 10 and 20 billion, FedEx is going to sell that company to Amazon. I'm telling you that right now. Or they're going to be in the process to have to sell. I'm telling you that now. But if you wish to continue that topic, go right ahead, brother.
But no, I just figured I wanted to bring that up to your attention, man. But I'm just going to say on a closing note, man, look, like I said, parents, stop bragging about your child's accomplishments, and don't be jealous of your child's accomplishments. You let them speak for themselves. Because you making yourself look bad when you study saying, "Oh well, yeah, I know how I raised my son. I know how to do this. I raised my daughter to do such. Okay, well let us see that. Shut up.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something else about parents too, man. Don't be scared to learn from your kids either, because sometimes we do need to keep up with times, and we do need to learn some things, because. And
get out of the damn and let me cut y'all. And parents, they get with the times, please. This is 2019. This ain't 1969. This ain't 1979. This ain't 89. This isn't 1999. This is 2019.
Yeah.
Get with the program.
Yeah, and not to give up too much information. There are some major moves I'm gonna make, and don't mention it. You already know personally, Craig, but there are some major moves I'm about to make, and it's mostly because of somebody that's 10 years younger than me, and you know who you are out there if you're listening, in Radio Land. But I learned from a dude that was younger than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always been the type of person that's willing to learn from different people. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you the benefit of that. I'll cut for you. If you got some now, if you want some bullshit. Can't tell you shit. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of my face. But I'm gonna come into some major moves pretty soon myself. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that, and that's because of a young dude put me up on some game and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes out, I'm gonna let y'all know. But right now, I'm not gonna reveal that. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure everything is situated and stuff like that. But you know, just an example of don't be scared to learn from your kids, because sometimes your kids are smarter than you think they really is, and could possibly be smarter than you. I'll put it to you like this. Some of these kids are smarter than these goddamn parents.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm be 1,010. Some of these kids are smarter than some of these goddamn parents out here, and you kids and you fucking parents is holding them back because you know they're smarter than you, because you so caught up in your old ass ways, you caught in your Reggie weed smoking ass ways that you hating on them. You ain't gotta hate on your kid. If your kid is successful, you know what I'm saying, that's good for you. Because a kid gonna, one thing about a kid gonna take care of his parents. If their mama is not doing nowhere near as good as they are financially or any you know, or intellectually, they gonna hold that parent. They're gonna hold that parent down if they raised them right. You know what I'm saying? It would take a bitch ass kid to not take care of their parents if they ain't raised them right. You know what I'm saying? Because kids, when they come into money, you don't hear too many kids out there. It is some bitch ass kids out there, but you don't hear too many kids out there letting their parents fall off like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you hear about it, but not at a excruciating rate. So, you know, you raise your kids right, your kids gonna take care of you. Go ahead, brother.
You know, I'm gonna say for the record, I ain't finna let my mom's fall off. You know, period. I ain't finna let her fall off, and ain't gonna let her hold me back. She ain't never held me back, never.
Yeah.
But you know, but my late old man, he tried to and failed. But sometimes, you know, we can be victims of our own. You know, we can be victims from our own self. You know, like, you know, because sometimes if our parents don't hold us back, hey, we hold ourselves back sometimes.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to look at it like that. You know, well, you still could do such. You know, like there was you know, I've gone on record and stated how much I have. Well, I'm not gonna say the word. Well, I'm gonna say it because it's pretty shocking coming that this word comes from my mouth. Hate. You know, I've gone on record and stated I've hated some old co-workers of mine because they want to knock me about things that I was supposed to have done. Well, first of all, once you look at yourself in the mirror before you judge me, what you doing? You know, like I had a guy caught and come tell me, you probably ain't, you know, damn, the way you work, you probably ain't learned shit in the damn military. I don't know what they taught you military. Hell, I don't know what your hell, I don't, or what your mom and dad taught you. Well, what your mom and dad taught you if you had either one. Don't worry about me.
Exactly. Don't watch me watch TV up in this hole.
You know, thank you. Don't watch me. Watch. If you got to make it your business to watch me, I'm put it like this. The worst, I always say, I tell people a whole lot of things. The worst thing you can do is get my attention on something. The best and the worst thing you do is get my attention on some things. And the worst thing that you can do is make me your hobby. Because I can be the most dangerous hobby ever.
Exactly. I agree. 1,000% on that.
I don't be wanting people talking about, oh, I know I can read you like a book. I can do. No, you can't read me like a book.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't read me like a book. You can't read me like a book because you don't know me like that. But
yeah. As you going by hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I was saying, you know, people go by hearsay a lot. So, damn, I was looking for something, man, but I got distracted. I was looking for something. But other than that, hey, you know, it is what it is.
Most definitely. Most definitely, man. Oh, I forgot to get on that Jalen Rose topic.
Yeah.
about Molly.
We still side-eyeing your ass.
Exactly. We side eyeing your whole ass. The thing is, I like him as a basketball commentator. Hell, I listen to coon ass Charles Barkley when he ain't hating on nobody. But when he started hating on people, I just turned the TV off. I'm like, because Charles Barkley, when he's not hating on nobody, he's probably one of the best commentators out there.
He is.
And I said, when he's not hating, he's a good commentator. But when he started hating on people, because he gets in that hater mode, that nigga shit mode, and it just makes him like, dude, speak from a basketball perspective, speak from a real perspective. We don't need you hating on people. Shaq sometimes hate on people, but for the most part, Shaq keeps it 1,010. I'll give Shaq that, because sometimes he'll get in the hater mode, but not as bad as Charles Barkley, because both of them are Pisces born around the same time, and sometimes Pisces can be big haters. I'll tell you that right now. They can be some big haters time to time. But Shaq, I will cut for Shaq on one thing. Shaq kept it real about that Michael Jordan thing. He was like, "Whoever, I will pay you double for you."
Yeah, he told Ryan Hollins that. Yeah, the Ryan Hollins dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "I'll pay you double." Cut this shit. I'm like, damn. He's like, with that defense and with Michael Jordan on offense, I'm like, hell no. Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors is arguably the best 3-point shooting dynasty out there in history. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about that. But here's the thing, though. Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan would have had all 5 of y'all starters on the bench, getting y'all asses in foul trouble. Because one, against Michael Jordan, you're gonna play your heart out on defense. But the thing is, Draymond Green will get frustrated. He would get 2 techs out the game, fucking with Dennis Rodman. And Dennis Rodman said it best. He will be eaten out of the palm of my hands. And I have questionable views on Dennis Rodman, but I can't separate the player Dennis Rodman for my questionable views. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman would have had him getting out the game. Dennis Rodman would have made that boy get his second tech all at once. That's one thing about Dennis Rodman that he had good. And Dennis Rodman was an intelligent player. He knew how not to get techs. You know what I'm saying? He might get tech because it's a hard play or something like that, but he knew how to avoid the officials. He was good at that. You know what I'm saying? He was very good at avoiding the officials. You know what I'm saying? Because like when Dennis Rodman, attempted to go out to Shaq, he was, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan football tackling that man, and they pulled him to the side. They were like, "Hey, we just need you to play your defense on Shaq. We don't need you to mess up the game. You can dye your hair, wear your dress all you want to, but hey, don't come in here and mess it up over here." And they had to talk to him when he first came to Chicago. Michael Jordan took him out to dinner and told him, "Hey, do what you want to do. Dye your hair, get all the tattoos you want. We got you, but just don't come in and mess up the game for us. Just play your defense, and we got the rest." You know what I'm saying? Me and Scotty gonna take care of the scoring. Just play your defense, and that's what he did. And it worked for him. You know what I'm saying? But getting back on Jalen Rose, we side-eyeing you, bro. You need to put your bitch in check. Put your bitch in check, because she has a history of saying some little inappropriate things for a player. If you're going to criticize LeVar Ball or try to Me Too LeVar Ball, and like I say, I don't like LeVar Ball. I respect him to a certain degree how he did his son. He is a good father. Let's not get it twisted. He's just overboard. That's the problem. I am not taking nothing away from him as a father. He's made some good decisions. He's made some, especially with the Big Baller brand.
Yeah, man.
The Big Baller brand should be better than what is going on right now. He needs to get that, he a Scorpio. You can't tell Scorpio shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to the homie. But what I will say is, I'm not going to sit up here and let him get harassed because of his color of his skin. I'm not going to allow that either, because, even though LeVar Ball is an asshole, he does not deserve that Me Too situation that Molly Karam side-eyed the ESPN people with. And LeVar Ball said it best, man. I don't work for ESPN. And he said it best. He don't work for ESPN. And the only time he said something, but his clapback was real and potent, and I respect that. But Jalen, side-eyeing you, bro. We side-eyeing you, bro. And you need to get that in. That's all we asking you to do. Get that in check, man. Don't put on the tap shoes. Don't fuck your eyes and say do some mouse be good ass shit, man. Put that bitch in check, man. Stop letting that bitch disrespect the culture, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I ask of you, man. So we side eyeing you, bro. We side eyeing. And you got anything else you want to say before I get off this damn line?
No, but we side eyeing your ass, Jalen. So you need to quit that. Exactly, get your girl, like Jim said. Get your old lady in check, man.
Get her in check, man.
Have a come. Matter of fact, have a come to Jesus meeting with her. Hey, you know that wasn't cool what you did. Yeah, that was just a joke.
Yeah, that was a joke, and it was very disrespectful, man. Because there's too many guys out here that looks like us that's getting me too for the simplest of shit. You know, and again, you know, no disrespect to the LGBT community, but again, y'all don't have to push that agenda with us. You know what I'm saying? If a man want to be straight, let him be straight, man. Stop trying to persuade people to do degenerate ass shit that we not fucking with. You know, hey, you know, if you gay, you know what I'm saying? If you don't come up to us with the bullshit, we can be cool with you, man. But don't push that shit with us. We don't, because we, you know, our people have a history of dealing with gay people. You know, our famous choir directors, famous songwriters, famous a lot of our famous writers. You know, Langston Hughes in particular was gay. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wasn't open with it, but it was obvious. You know what I'm saying? James Paul, those guys. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to push that LGBT agenda with us and shit like that. You ain't got to do that shit, man. And damn sure don't push that Me Too movement ass bullshit. I ain't got time. We ain't got time for that shit. Yes, if there's guys out there that are committing degenerate sex crimes out here, they should be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. They should be dealt with. And like I say, I'm not caping for R. Kelly. I just don't like the way it's being done with you having Harvey Weinstein and other white guys who did 10 times worse than R. Kelly could imagine in his brain. You know what I'm saying? You giving them a slap on the wrist. I have a problem with that in that particular situation. Because like I say, we need to do what Bobby Womack, not Bobby Womack. We need to do what Sam Cooke brothers did with Bobby Womack. You know, and I don't know if that's true or untrue, but they went down there and stumped Bobby Womack ass out in his Sam Cooke wife shot at that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they handled that situation. And I think our community need to handle people that commit crimes in our community the same damn way. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to where we have our own police force. We need our own shit, our own everything if you just want to be honest with us. And then everything else will just be a backup in case we can't handle it properly. But we need it starts with us. You know, I'm not preaching the black on black crime thing, but I'm preaching, you know, hey, let's deal with these motherfuckers on our own, and so they won't come up here and get out of pocket. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man. So if you ain't got nothing else to say, man, once again, this your boy. Go ahead.
And let me add on another little note. You know, we was talking about like with gays. Let me add, since I was talking about parents and everything. Let me just say another little thing here too, and then we're gonna end it off like this. People to the people that have families, you know, that's everywhere. You know, like most of my family all up in Chicago. Listen, y'all better you better talk to all your family members while they're here living. Mm-hmm. That's straight up, because if you know, hey, if you can post stuff about what vacation you've been doing and partying and every day all like that, whatever, just like my cousins up in Chicago, every day talking about what party they be at and all this other shit. Okay, well, you partying, but you don't, you know, y'all, you know, don't, you know, hey, you partying, but you don't check on your other family members. You know,
exactly.
Hey, if you got family out there, before y'all decide to turn up, get out in public and turn up, pick up the phone in private and call and talk with your family members, see how they doing and shit like that. You know. It ain't all the time, you know, because not necessarily most of the time, like if the only time you call is when if somebody wants something. No, it ain't the case. Call your family members while you're here. While they're here.
Exactly.
like Jimmy said about him and his brother, you and John, shout out to him. Y'all got better acquainted, but like if you ask for something, hey, he's there.
Exactly.
You know,
He's there.
I don't have it in my family. It was a rare few. They're gone, but we got, hey man, we got people who got to start getting better as family members are going to start getting better with each other, man, and just say, hey, well, let's go see cousin Jamie. Ain't saw him in a minute. We don't want nothing. Or find out, get him somewhere to find out where's a good meeting spot in Houston or whatnot, so we can eat and shoot the shit.
Exactly.
Or as my one of my old drill sergeants said, he hit me up, break bread, or whatnot, man. But the point is, if you got family out there, and especially mine, break bread.
Exactly, man.
That's all I got. That's all I got to say. Break some damn bread. Don't tip glasses. Let's break bread.
Exactly.
Let's get reacquainted. Do something.
And let's invest in the youth as well, and invest in the youth as well, man. When kids doing good in school, it's good. It's cool to invest in your kid, man. Set up some real estate, set up some assets for them so they can be straight when they get out of college, or help pay for their college. Help pay for them to get a trade. I say get a trade before you jump in that college thing. You know what I'm saying? So you can get some money on your belt, and then go for the occupation you want to have in college and shit like that. But have a trade as a backup. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. You got anything else, or we done?
Oh, that is it, brother.
Oh,
great show.
Okay. Once again, hold on. Okay. Once again, this your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662. And y'all already know how I do, man. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And man, happy birthday to myself, Kawhi Leonard, and all the other cancers. Oh, and a special happy birthday to Shannon Sharp. His birthday just passed a couple of days ago. So
yeah, he's a Gemini.
No, he's a Cancer. You better look it up. You better look it up, nigga.
Gemini. I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah. So once again, this your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. Peace out.
And a pleasure.